Because, as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. It's the boxing talk with Raphie. And what we on? I think it's like episode hashtag 115, 115. I'm just seeing something here. What is it? What is this? Okay. That was just a message. Okay. So you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie. 115. And yeah, we got a nice one. We got a nice treat. We've had a nice week. AJbxng was very nice to pop over here earlier on in the week. What was that? That was Monday. So we had AJbxng on Monday. Interesting, very interesting fellow. He's all over the internet right now. Everybody's calling his name. And it was interesting. I caught a little bit of his show last night. It was very, very interesting. May have to talk about that another time. Justin Trouble up in the building. SSB up in the building. Damn. Okay. People are in early, nice and early, just like we like it. So yeah, we had that on Monday, and now I have the privilege of having Rick Glaser, who's going to be joining us not too long from now. So that's spoke to him earlier on. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. Confirmed. What's going on here? What's going on here? Let's have a look at some of these messages before I go into the warming video. We're going to do a warming video, then we're going to talk a little bit, and then I'll introduce our special guest. Okay, so Cal L. This essential worker finally can get back to important things in life, like boxing talk. Excellente. Good to have you back up in here, Cal L. What we got? SSB. I see this SSB guy all over the boxing channels. SSB, you're a busy man. You're a busy man. I bet you're probably loving this COVID-19. You're getting your boxing fix. You're getting your boxing fix for sure. Just in trouble. Controversial character, but so long as he behaves himself over here, he will be fine. How do you do, Just in Trouble? Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. AJbxng and his friend DSFG have been causing a stir around the YouTube. Yeah, I've heard them talking about there's some, I don't know, I think I'll keep that for another show, but they got some interesting observations. AJbxng has told me he'll be back here on Monday. He said, see you Monday. See you Monday. I believe him. He don't seem shy. Yes, Cal L. How have you been during this self-quarantine? I was terrible the first week. Then I kind of eased into it in the second week. And now I'm getting back kind of stir crazy. It's a good thing I got ride my bike. Went for a long bike ride today. That's probably when I go on, when I show a bit of face. What's going on here? Stop that. When I show a bit of face later on, you may see some puffiness under the eyes. Late to bed, early to rise, and then long bike ride. Yeah, but it's therapy. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic for me. Freddie Mars up in the building. Samuel Shaw up in the building. Yeah. Good to see people populating the area nicely. I'm washing my hands. Well, to be honest with you, this hand washing nonsense, it's not nonsense, it's common sense, but I've been doing that anyway. I mean, whenever I come home, whenever I come home, the first thing I do is wash my hands. Oh, I've received a notification, about 5 minutes after we started. Okay, so now people will know. Yeah, I've always washed my hands. I mean, the things they're talking about, the COVID, to me is just common sense. Shiz biz up in the building, the area is populating. The thing they're talking about, washing your hands, I mean, that's common sense. That's what you should do anyway. You know what I mean? You should be washing your hands whenever you come indoors from outdoors. You should wash your hands. You should catch your sneezes. You should put your hand over your mouth. You should put your hand over your mouth when you cough or sneeze. I see you, Rick. I see you. We're going to do the warming video and then bring you in, my friend. Okay, Rick Glaser. It's confirmed. 100% confirmed. Is going to be on very, very shortly. Going to do the warm-in video and then get this thing crunk. So you should be washing your hands. You should be covering your nose when you sneeze in your mouth. You should be coughing, covering your mouth when you cough. All of these things they're talking about is just common sense that people should have been practicing anyway. And then look at the supermarkets. Look at the supermarkets and the trolleys and the handles of the baskets. They should be wiped down on a daily basis anyway. Now they're employing people, extra special people to come in and wipe down the shizzle. The gyms. Back in the day, in the commercial gyms, you always used to have your squeezy bottle and your what do you call it? Your blue paper. Yeah, the blue paper dispenser. You use the machine, you wipe it down, you squeeze the disinfectant on the machine, you wipe it down. That was the protocol back in the day. Clean up after yourself. And what happened? They got rid of the squeezy bottle. They got rid of the disinfection, the disinfectant. So, we talk about progress. You see, there's a thing about lost civilizations. There's this thing about lost civilizations where it is spoken of that civilization doesn't always progress, doesn't always build on what has been learned in the past. Okay, it doesn't always work that way. So a lost civilization now could be more advanced than the civilization which comes after it. And you think to yourself, well, how the hell does that make sense? Because once people go forward, they remain there. Once people advance, they remain at that advanced stage, advanced level. But no, what we see here is a microcosm of how civilization can devolve. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, in a commercial gym, you had a squeezy bottle with disinfectant and cloth, paper dispenser. You wipe down the machine, you squeeze your disinfectant on the machine, you wiped it down. 15 years later, we have devolved. We got more stupid. We got dumber. So anybody who questions the theory that civilizations can actually get dumber, that is a small microcosm of the argument to show you how we have got dumber in certain areas. Okay, but common sense, but sometimes common sense is uncommon. Okay, we're going to do a short warming video. We're going to do a short warming video to allow the area to populate, and then I will introduce my guest to you, and then we're going to get it popping, get it crunk. Okay, so let me, hold on, what's that there? What's this here? Okay, I see what's going on here. Let me select a short warm-in video, and then we're going to get it crunk. Okay, let me look at the timings on these things. This is quite funny. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's long, but I'm going to give you about 5 minutes of this particular video because it is quite funny. Probably nothing to do with what we're going to be talking about, but there's always time for humor. There's always time for humor. So let me set this up. As a matter of fact, there's something else I need to do. Let me make this official. Let me get the banner up. Let me make this bespoke banner. Delete that. Delete that. Okay, and create. All right, so warming video. Well, actually, we've already got that, but let me Glaser guest introducing. No, I'm not gonna write special guest. Glaser. I think I spelled that right. Special guest Rick Glaser. Let's add that. So that's there for when I come back. But now, first and foremost, let's get this up on the screen so when people jump in, they know what they're seeing. Okay, so boom. And let's go over. Let's share my screen so you can see what I can see. And yes, let's kill the music for the time being. Boom. Bring this down. And let's get into this. Let's get into this thing here. Am I sharing? Hopefully I'm sharing. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, boom.
Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Comeback Radio. And today we're looking at John Fury's acceptance from bodybuilder or ex-bodybuilder, hardman, bouncer, Mickey Theo. I recognize Mickey Theo immediately. No, I didn't, because he's older now. But when they showed a picture of him, I thought, I know John Theo. I remember John Theo because I used to, when I started doing weights back in the Dizzy, this guy was all up in the British magazines. This is Mickey Theo. I remember this guy, what's his name? Richards. And I think this is Rhino from the Gladiators, British version. But first of all, let's listen to John Fury's acceptance. Do we listen to John Fury's acceptance or do we listen to... Yeah, let's listen to the acceptance and then let's listen to the invitation to get it on. Okay, so...
Just replying to a video just sitting there. A bodybuilder wants to fight me. That ain't no problem, mate. Don't know you. Don't want to know you. But let me tell you something, mate. You're messing with John Fury here, mate. And I am the best 50-odd-year-old man in the world, man. And I will stand on what I say, mate. I'll either fight in the ring, which and forget about that one, because I fought world-class men many times. But let me tell you this, my old mate. I will fight you gypsy style. Don't you worry about that. I've never, ever denied a challenge in my life, my friend. You've mentioned mine and you've got to fight now. I'm all over London with the boxing. Make yourself known, mate, and you can have it there and then on the spur of the moment, pal. I don't need training camps. I don't need time to get fit. I'm 24 hours ready. I will fight you. Get all of the agents, Spencer Brown in Blackpool, he'll sort it all out. And I'll fight you anywhere you want in the UK, my friend, anywhere at all. And you'll wish you never mentioned my name, pal. Spencer Brown will be contacting your people. Everybody knows me. I fear no man, let alone you. And pal, I've seen you sparring. You're no good to me, my mate. But listen, I'll fight you gypsy style because fighting's too hard, mate, to do for free. Let's fight for a few quid. I know the NHS thing and all that. God bless them, you're doing a good job trying to help everybody who's dying. But you're trying to make a name for yourself or somebody's famous father. But the last thing you'll ever do, mate. Because you know them false teeth, and I'm knocking straight for the back of your head, my friend. So don't you worry about that. You've got to fight. Don't you worry about that, mate. Good day, Tim. God bless you as well.
Yes, yes, yes. That's Big John Fury, and that's his acceptance of the offer to get it on. Mick Theo wants to do it for charity. Let's see, before we get into what Mick Theo said, let's have a look at who he is, or rather who he was. This is how I remember it back in the Dizzy. Let's do this. You need the volume up on this? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's go.
6th place, Ian Wadley. In 5th place, Mark Smith.
Rhino from the British Gladiators. Mike Rhino.
In 4th place, Mick Theo.
Uh-oh. Mick's not happy. Not happy.
Stay on stage, Mick. Stay on stage, Mick.
That's not your trophy, Mick. You're in 4th place. You didn't make 3rd. And that's the winner's trophy. That was the biggest one. Come on, Mick. Come on, Mick. Don't do that. Don't do that. We need a replay.
In 6th place, Ian Wadley. In 5th place, Mark Smith.
Rhino.
In 4th place, Mick Theo. Stay on stage, Mick. Stay on stage, Mick.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the winner. Throws a towel in. Mark Breland. He had Mark Breland as his trainer. OMG. So I know he's a man with a bit of a fuse. A bit of a fuse. Been dieting for 3 months. Dieting for 3 months, living on nothing but rice and chicken and fish. A little bit of salad.
The reason why I want to fight John Fury is that I think he's been offering a lot of people out. The last one was Dana White, and he's saying he's the strongest, toughest, fittest 54-year-old in the world, on the planet. So I was throwing on with dogs one morning, and I seen that. But wait about, I'm 56, and I believe I'm fitter and stronger. So I thought, you know what, I'll challenge him. I'll challenge him for a good cause as well. You know, the coronavirus, NHS, let's raise some money, you know, for the country, for the love people, what they're doing for our society, you know, with the hospitals, the nurses, the doctors, the whole shebang, you know, we need to do something for them. Whether he tried quick or slower, it didn't mean anything to me. I'm glad he came back to me. Appreciating him wanting to take a fight for me. I really respect that. Thank you very much, sir. But regarding knocking teeth out, false teeth, I don't have any false teeth to knock out, so it's a bit below the belt saying I've got false teeth, I'm going to put them in the back of my mouth, because you know what, if you have false teeth, I'll take care of it for you. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that don't know me. They're looking at me as just a bodybuilder. I've been training for the last 25 years of boxing, you know. I competed, I was an ex-bodybuilder 25 years ago. I still train, keep fit. I like to do a bit of weights, it's in my blood. On top of that, more so, I enjoy the boxing side of things. And so I do a bit of boxing, and yeah, that's what I do. So that's why I pulled the challenge on. Listen, Lenny McLean was the governor. There's only one word for him. He was my mate. I loved him. God bless his soul, and you know, rest in peace, as he's not with us anymore. But I've never seen John Fury challenge Lenny McLean or the other fella, Roy Shaw. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, why did he challenge Roy Shaw? He's like toughest man on the planet then, or the hardest man, as he puts it. I've read it on some of his articles. So, you know, if he was the hardest man, he reckons he was, why didn't he come up and fight these people? Why didn't he bring himself out of the hiding where he was, you know? I've worked on the door since I was 16 years of age. For me, it's job, you know, it was a job, and it was a long job for many years. And then I had my own bars and clubs. As well as being the boss, I still front 15 of my doormen. I'd get in front of them before they got to anyone, you know. That was me. That was my job. I took my own business seriously. You know. Regarding Lenny, yeah, we spent a lot of time together with Lenny when I was about 28. He took me under his wing. He taught me a lot about the streets, about fighting. As they were trying to make a film for him, a movie, I contributed £20,000 back in the day. It was a low-budget movie called The Governor. For doing that part, I said, then, if I can get a part as one of the fighters, So he showed me a few moves. I said, look, I can have a tear up, but I need to know a bit technical. So we took it down the gym. We started doing a bit of moving around and fighting and that. I got better at it as we went along. When as soon as I got any better, wash, bing, bang, smashed my nose, broke it, punched me in the ribs, cracked my ribs. I went to the floor, winded me as well. He actually dragged me up off the floor and lifted me up and goes, come on, son, 30 more seconds. And I was like, we've been so good, and I was still trying to go at him. And he said, I said, that's enough. You know, I was fucked, basically. So I've been in with Len McLean, you know, he's the governor, he's the number one, yeah. I've been in with the best, yeah. John Fury, I don't know, I respect you, John. I've seen you had 13 fights and 7 losses, but I don't care what you've had and what you if you've had or you haven't had. You know what? I respect you as a man, and I just want to challenge you. I think I'm fit, I'm 56, I'm 2 years older than you, with my teeth, with my hair, and let's go for it, mate. We're doing it for a good cause. Listen, my phone is cooking the last 2. I've got 2 phones, yeah? They're just cooking all day long. People are sending messages out. People I don't spoke to for years are sending me messages, you know? People's friends are ringing certain people that know me. The phones were mad, you know? They all want to see me and challenge and be up there with me, behind me, you know? It's just gone astronomical, crazy. And I send my love out to everyone that's behind me on this, you know, and I just did never imagine it'd ever go as big as it's gone. It's only a day and a half. So, obviously, the people that don't know me, love you all anyway. Whatever comments you want to make, I love you all, yeah? And John, I love you too, mate. But listen, it's a match between 2 men, 2 grown men, but I'm 2 years older than you. I'm an older man than you are, yeah? So it's all about me and you, John, in the ring. Let's put it on for the NHS. And for the whole world, you want to see it, yeah? Keep your eyes tuned, your ears open on the night, because you'll see what you got to see, you know? We'll see if I blow out, and you see what camera I've got. I'll leave it to you guys to see it at the later stage, you know? My life is all about training, you know? It's my number one. It's like heroin for me. I love it. I cannot live without it. I do it day in, day out. Forget the fights coming up. Forget this whatever's going on. Forget my past. From doing the doors to fighting to bodybuilding, I've combined the 2 together. I still do a bit of bodybuilding. I won't call it bodybuilding to grow. I keep in shape, you know. 56 years of age, I'm not looking bad, and you guys will see me on the night, you know. So got me hair, got me teeth still, John. Don't forget that. So please, if you've got false teeth, John, please let me know. And I'm honestly, from my heart, I'll stay away from your mouth. Got me. So I wouldn't want to knock them out like you want to knock mine out. The fight's going ahead. We have mutual chats on the phone. He's a great guy, and yeah, it's all. We're all. John's up for it. I'm up for it big time because I've offered him out. I don't think there's many people in this world who offer John Fury out. You know, they all do. Like, they all want to see the big events, big fights. Yeah, but not many people that have got the balls to fucking face John Fury. Yeah, me, John. To me, you're another man. You're another bit of flesh in front of me. And that's no respect to you, mate. I was in with the best, Len McLean. And that's what I can say to you, mate, you know. So, am I going to win the fights? I'll keep it to everyone's imagination in the night.
Okay, so that was the interview with Mickey Theo. And yeah, I know him from back in the day, not personally, but I know of him from the bodybuilding world. Bodybuilder, bouncer, worked with for a long time with Big Lenny McLean. For those overseas who don't know who Lenny McLean is, he was a known hard man, worked on the hardest pubs and clubs down south of England, London, and a notorious figure. Became quite famous, had some unlicensed fights, and was known as the governor, the hardest man. Okay, so that's the background story to that. John Fury has accepted the invitation. I can see Theo's hair is brown here. Now it's gray. So this must have been a few years ago. How many years ago? I'm not sure, but like I said, It's been long enough to turn his brown hair, or was it black hair, to gray. So looks like John Fury is accepting. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Okay, we're looking at John Fury, his record. Scroll down, see who he fought. Okay, so we can see from this graphic, he fought, I think his highest ranked opponent was Henry Akwende. And Steve Garber was his very last fight. And got knocked out in his last 2 fights. And he thought, yeah, I best take a breather. I best relax, best chill out. Best stick to the day job. So let's level this thing up and finish off with the man himself. Looks like he's accepted the invitation to the scrap. So see us out. John Fury, leave your comments. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget about the live show. Boxing Talk with Raphie. Mondays and Wednesdays. Sometimes Thursdays. Okay.
Just replying to a video just seen there. A bodybuilder wants to fight me. That ain't no problem, mate. Don't know you. Don't want to know you. But let me tell you something, mate. You're messing with John Fury here, mate. I am the best 50-odd-year-old man in the world, man. And I will stand on what I say, mate. I'll either fight in the ring, which forget about that one, because I fought world-class men at the time. But let me tell you this, my old mate. I will fight you gypsy style. Don't you worry about that. I've never, ever denied a challenge in my life, my friend. You've mentioned my name, you've got to fight now. I'm all over London with the boxing. Make yourself known, mate, and you can have it there and then on the spare of the moment, pal. I don't need training camps. I don't need time to get fit. I'm 24 hours ready. I will fight you. Get hold of the agent, Spencer Brown in Blackpool. He'll sort it all out. And I'll fight you anywhere you want in the UK, my friend, anywhere at all. And you'll wish you never mentioned my name, pal. Spencer Brown will be contacting your people. Everybody knows me. I fear no man, let alone you. And pal, I've seen you sparring. You're no good to me, my mate. But listen, I'll fight you gypsy style because fighting's too hard, mate, to do for free. Let's fight for a few quid. I know the NHS thing and all that. God bless them, you're doing a good job trying to help everyone else dying. But you're trying to make a name for yourself or somebody's famous father. But the last thing you'll ever do, mate. Because you know them false teeth. I'm going to knock them straight for the back of your head, my friend. So don't you worry about that. You've got to fight. Don't you worry about that, mate. Good day, Tim. God bless you as well.
Okay, let's kill. Okay, it's over.
Tune into the live show tonight, 9
right.
p.m. UK time.
Calm down, Raphie. Calm down. I'm here. The real Raph's here. The real Raph is here. Now, let's get straight into this thing. Let's close that. Let's close that. Let's get back into the proper window. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you none other than, well, he can say for himself, here he is, Rick Glaser. We are live. Rick, how are you doing today?
Under the circumstances, hello, Raph. I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's we're sort of shut down in America as the world is, and most of the world, and just biding our time trying to get through this coronavirus pandemic and doing the best we all can over here in America.
100%. We're going through it as well. We're going through the same thing over here. And for people wondering, why is Raph better lit? Well, if you remember, people who were here from when this thing started, I was talking about I needed some uplighting. And here it is, folks. At long last, we have the uplighting. Changing different colors. Oh, that's a bit bright. You're seeing too much of the Raphie. Not very flattering. You're seeing too much of the Raphie. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, okay, we'll work through it. Okay, so it's Rick Glaser up in the building. We're going through the same thing. We're going through the same thing over here, Rick, with the COVID-19 lockdown. But before we get into the interview, first of all, I have to thank you for taking the time to come over here to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, just so we can chop it up and entertain the people during this COVID-19 lockdown.
I'm glad to be part of it. Thank you for having me, and I'm glad I could do it. You know, it's good knowing I'm wanted on the other side of the pond.
The other side of the pond. When we first got in contact, did you know that this was a UK channel?
Oh yeah, I was very familiar with your name. You have a quality name, and I was very familiar. You know, part of my business is to know things, the players and the media personalities around the world that are associated with boxing, in particular sports in general. And I have a lot of awareness, and I knew of your show. I knew some of the things you've done over the years, and I was quite impressed, and I'm happy that you asked me to be on today. Thank you.
100%. We had a good response when I said we were going to get Rick Glaser on, and it's great that you've managed to do it now. Jacal Davis, you've written something here, Raphael Unreal. I've seen that name around YouTube. Is that somehow supposed to be related to me? Is that name somehow supposed to be related to me, Jacal Davis? Okay, but in the meantime, while Jacal answers that question, we're going to do it like we usually do. We're going to do the roll call. Okay, so who do we have here? Lots of people. Okay, so it's the Cal L. It's the SSB. It's the Justin Trouble. It is the Freddie Mars. It's the Samuel Shaw. We got some new guys up in here. You are most welcome. Good to have you. We got the Shiz Biz. Who else we got? We're scrolling down. Of course, the Red Gloved Militant. I have to give a special shout out to the Red Gloved Militant. Been very, very helpful. Been very, very helpful. I appreciate that. It has not gone unnoticed. He did just toss that trophy. It wasn't even his. He was fourth place. He was a fourth place, and that was the winner's trophy. Shouldn't have even touched it. Sportsmanship indeed. The Cal L. Appreciate your modding duties. It's the Kieran Betts. Kieran Betts used to come in here early when this thing just started. And who else we got? We got John D. Lee. Also, once again, a special shout out to Regular Militant and John D. Lee, being very, very helpful. And of course, the Ross Clark, always supporting. And I just wanted to say, actually, I want to start this thing off by saying, sometimes we forget to say thank you. We forget to say thank you to the people who help you. And there's a lot of people over here who've helped me. Red Glove Militant, Ross Clark, John D. Lee, been very, very helpful with this thing. Jackal Davis says, my bad typo. It was a typo. No problem. I've seen this Raph Unreal, and I'm wondering if it was alluding to me in any way. There's only one Raphie, bro. You know that. You know that. Smarty Jones. Let's get to the meat in the pie. You see, Smarty Jones, you don't rush it, my friend. You don't rush it. You don't rush it. Some people just grab the pie and stuff it in. Me, I'm the type of guy I like to eat around the crust, eat around the edges. That's just me. Where we at? Where are we at? You're leaving Rick hanging. Smarty Jones. 100%. Okay, so Lisa Bayliss up in the building. The Equalizer. They're eager for you. They are eager for you. Michael Jack on the scene. Okay. And that is everybody up in the building. Freddie Mars, Smarty Jones, the Equalizer. Okay. Everything looks nice so far. Can't see any trolls. Can't see any troll activity. So, okay. That's good. Okay. All right. We're going to get into it now. Let me change the banner. Let's give the man his respect. Special guest, Rick Glaser, up in the building. Okay, so we're just gonna get straight into it, Rick. How did you get into this crazy boxing thing? How did you get into it? What's your genesis? What's the genesis? How did it start?
Well, I went to I was 12 years old. I was 6 weeks from my 13th birthday. I went to the closed circuit of version of Ali Frazier won, and it was the biggest fight of all time at that point in time. And I was bit by the boxing bug. I used to watch it a little bit on TV, but it was such a big event, I had to go. And I was bitten by boxing, and I was a big fan in the 70s and the 80s. And in 1991, I had a chance. I decided that I was going to leave. I was an automobile wholesale. I had an automobile wholesale business. It was a family thing. My father had done it before me, and my father had passed away in '81. And I just wanted to find myself, and I wanted to find. I was always known as a really good car guy because my father was a great car guy. Oh, he's Larry's son. Nobody even knew my first name. Oh, little Larry, and all that kind of stuff. And I was just tired of it. And I wanted to go out and make my name in a business that nobody knew me. Nobody knew my father. And I could start right from scratch. And I started from scratch in 1991. And it's been a great ride. 29 years. I just got inducted in the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame. Hopefully be in Canastota someday. I found myself as an international agent, broker, and consultant. My clients are everywhere from promoters around the world, television networks, attorneys, fighters themselves, boxing production companies that produce boxing shows, boxing events for TV, media agencies, just almost anybody, really. If they've got money, I'm in. So as long as I'm getting paid, I will give them. I'll broker a deal, render advice, whatever it takes. So, and people consider me, one of the most foremost experts on modern boxing, the business and the sport, and I'm proud of that fact. I've been proclaimed and adjudicated as a expert witness in multiple boxing related lawsuits. And I've devoted my life to it, for now 29 years full time in boxing. I started out right when I got in boxing. I was full time within a couple months, and I was calling up guys like Angel Dundee and Lou Duva, but especially Duva. He says to me, I said, I can supply you with opponents, sparring partners, all kinds of services. He says, son, are you in boxing full time? I says, no. I said, what do you do? I says, I'm a wholesale car dealer. He said, well, when you become full time in boxing, you call me back. And he put the phone down on me. Huh. So I thought that was a way of blowing me off. So, 6 months later, I was in boxing full time. I called Lou Duva back. And he says, I thought I'd never heard from you again. I said, here I am. He says, good. I got business for you. Let me try you out. And I got opponents for him, first guys, sparring partners, did what I had to do. And I've done it, repeatedly. Don King became a client of mine in 2003 to 2016 when I was his go-to guy. And, outside, I didn't work for Don King Productions. I worked directly with Don. And I was his go-to guy for 16 years, and I got the cancer. And by the time I was finished with the cancer, Don's basically in semi-retirement today, even though, as Don says, you're on my speed dial. Well, Don, today they don't have speed dials. But the point is, I'm there for him if he needs me. So, I've done a yeoman's job for everybody I've ever dealt with, whether it was a fighter or a promoter. I lobby organizations, the WBC, BA, IBF, WBO to move people up in the rankings. I continue to supply, a madrid of services to this day, and I do it every day, 24/7. I love what I do. It's my life. It's my life calling.
That's awesome. That's awesome when you can find your life calling. That's awesome. So that's a nice question. I'll get to some of those questions right now. I'll get to those questions shortly. Yeah, it's awesome when you can find your life calling. Absolutely awesome. What was the question on my mind? Okay, yeah, I remember it now. Okay, so when you were testing out the StreamYard earlier on, we had a quick chat. And I said, we're going to be nice. We're going to be nice to you. We're going to be nice to you, Rick. And you said, just bring it on. Any way it comes, bring it on.
My life's an open book, and everything that I say is candid. It's not thought out over, I'll let you know tomorrow, or let me think about it. It's not like that. You get the bare naked truth with me at all times. Everybody does. That's my moniker in boxing. It's just I'm a straight up guy. I'm straightforward with everything. There's no con. There's no bullshit. There's no gaff. Just a straight up guy. And you might not like what I have to say, but no, it's either the truth or it's my opinion.
Excellent. And with that said, so I wasn't gonna ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. You were on TBV. I saw that interview. I've been over there as a panelist for a while. I wasn't there at that time, but you were on, and some people can say they did you kind of dirty. Some people may say that they did you kind of dirty. They came on, they asked you multiple questions. You answered them every question. And then I said, we've been doing some research. And Bob Arum says he don't work with you. You're just a guy who's around.
Bob didn't say that. I do business with his company daily. Okay, with Brad Goodman, Bruce Trampler, his matchmakers daily. That's not true. I go to a lot of his events. That's not what he said. What he did say was, I don't know Rick that well. Rick's around. I don't know him that well. That's what he said. Right. Okay. And he does know me well. I've negotiated plenty of deals over the years directly with Bob, including signing up Frankie Randall with him years ago, and multiple other deals. He does know me well. When he sees me, addresses me, hey, Rick, how are you? Hello, Rick, how are you? Okay, so it's totally false. What he was doing was he was defending his product. Okay, now, mind you, that Wilder was not his fighter. What he said was that I said the Wilder pay-per-view numbers, what they actually were, the Wilder Ortiz pay-per-view numbers, and he was promoting Wilder's next fight with his guy Tyson Fury. So he defended that. Believe you me when I tell you that he would have never said a negative word if he wasn't bestowed with the fact that he had to promote Wilder's next fight. That's the bottom line to that whole line. He was defending his product. Okay. And in the meantime, as Bob knows him well, I have Bob's cell number. Okay. So to say that I don't know him or he doesn't know me, I'm sorry. He doesn't know me. He never said that. He doesn't know me well. He knows me very well. Okay. Well enough that I've got his cell number and that he addresses me. Hey, Rick, how are you? He walked up to the dinner table in Vegas when we were having, lunch. I was with Bruce Trampler's matchmakers and Brad Goodman, and he said, "Hey, Rick, blah blah blah." So believe you me to tell you, he was defending his product. That's Bob. I got no gripes with that at all.
Yes. I thought I needed to ask you that question to give you an opportunity to your right to reply. You needed your right to reply. Now you got your right to reply.
Let me say one more thing to you about it. I was a guest of Top Rank. They picked up the tab for October 26th in Reno, then November 2nd in Carson, California, and November 9th in Fresno. I was at 3 shows of his within 3 weeks. And I spent plenty of time with Bob, okay, around Bob and everything else. So believe me, they paid for the trip. Okay, I was away for basically 21 days, 22 to be exact, because I had a layover and an accidental layover in Dallas when we were late going from Fresno to Dallas back to Buffalo, and I had to leave the next day. So basically 22 days, and TR paid the bill. Top Rank paid the whole freight. So, I got no problem with what Bob said. I respect Bob, greatest promoter of all time. He's great. They're the best payers in the business. Now they pay you fairly, and they pay you promptly, and you can't ask for more than that.
Excellent. So yeah, I wanted to ask you that question. We got it out there now. So for anybody who was in doubt, anybody who had questions about.
And Raphie, one more thing. Don King had the greatest line a while ago. He said about me. The guy says, I'm not familiar with Rick. And Bob says, you say you're in professional boxing. He says, everybody in the world in professional boxing knows Rick Glaser. So continue.
Okay. So, I was going to add a question that I was going to save till later. In fact, I think.
By the way, I'm ready.
Go on, lad. Rick's a savage. Rick's a savage. Rick's a savage, I'm telling you. I was going to save it till later, but you know what? We're there now, so why don't we go into it? Rick Glaser, talk to me about haters.
Well, boxing is factions of different people. So in other words, everybody's involved with different people. I have a relationship with the Top Rank organization. I've had a great relationship with Don King organization. I have no relationship at all with PBC, Heyman and PBC. And I have no very, 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 very minute relationship at all with Eddie Hearn and Golden Boy. So everybody's got their little factions, and everybody sticks to those factions. That's just the way boxing is. As far as certain people being haters, the only people I despise in boxing that I hate are 2 people, and it's well documented: Dan Raphael and Lou DiBella. Other than that, I don't hate Al Heyman. I just don't like the way he conducts his business. I don't like how everything is propaganda that comes out of PBC. I don't like the cherry picking that he allows his fighters to do. He's an obstructionist to great fights, and he's the enabler of bad ones. That's a horrible thing for professional boxing for the fans.
Who is that person you just mentioned?
Al Heyman.
Al Heyman. Damn. So you haven't said anything that people don't feel, but it's good to have the perspective of someone who is in the business. You are clearly in the business, despite what my friend over there said, Mr. Nestor Gibbs. Despite what he said, it's pretty damn obvious to anybody who's got 2 brains.
I don't even know. Nestor Gibbs, what did he say? I've heard the name. Who is he?
The TBV guy. The TBV guy. You know the Boxing Voice? You went on the Boxing Voice, the channel.
And Nestor Gibbs says I'm not in the business?
No. They questioned. Well, yeah, they did. They questioned it. They said that Bob says he barely knows you. So you did an interview with them, and then
hold on. Let me bring my lovely wife over here. Come here.
I've seen her on Facebook.
Okay, she's right here. Does Bob Arum see me? Does he call me at a first day basis? Hey, Rick.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
Hey, I know. Say hello to your lovely lady wife. I've seen her on Facebook. Lovely lady.
And Raphie, may I say something to you?
Yeah.
She's not only lovely to look at, she's a better person than she is lovely. How's that?
Well, it starts from the inside, so it don't matter. The external is just the external. The core is what really matters.
Right.
The core is what matters. Shout out to True School Sports. He's jumped in. Much appreciated. Kind words. And it's a two-way street, my friend. I appreciated meeting up with you when you came over, and we have to do it again. We got it. I've still yet to release the interview we did together, partially due to my rudimentary internet skills, where I was keeping it back, saving it for a rainy day. I'm about ready to do that soon, and we gotta do another collab. Definitely, 100%. Who's not supporting True School Sports? You should be. He is a real one. Who's this? George Pretzel says, Raphael, you are a fraud. Well, that's interesting. I think I'm real. I think I'm real. I'm going to leave you to explain how the Raphael is a fraud. I'm going to let you get one more in there, and then I'll be ready to say goodbye. Let me just line you up. in the scopes. Let me go over here. Bear with me for a second there, Rick. Let me just line this fella up. Hold on. What am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Okay, let's get into this. Where is he? Where is the culprit? Jackal Davis supporting the channel. Much appreciation for the Rick interview. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm sure. Where is this cat? I saw him a second ago. What was his name? Has somebody terminated him? I can't see that guy. Where is he? Oh, maybe someone's took care of him. Maybe someone has taken care of him. Okay, so we're staying on that vein. We got David. Jaffa Cakes is coming back on Wednesday next Monday for the Clash Part 2. Going to give him a second chance to Rick spitting the truth. Says John Dealey about PBC and Al Heyman. Yeah, it's raw and unvarnished. I think throughout the boxing world, we are unhappy. Yeah.
If you want me to lie to people, I'll lie to them.
No.
You want me to sugarcoat something? I'd rather come with the truth. That's me.
No, we just want it as you give it, raw and unvarnished. One of the most important things was for me to give you a right to reply to what Nestor Gibbs said on the TBV. Anybody who follows you,
You know what? He's one of the LB. What do they call them? LBDC.
LDBC.
LBDC. Yeah. I mean, please.
Talk about them. Talk on it. Speak on it, Rick. Speak on it.
The truth, anything I say about Wilder, Spence, Heyman, Gervonta Davis, that's the truth. They don't want to hear it. Okay. Well, I predicted that Fury would win the rematch easy, going away. I didn't think he'd knock him out and dominate as bad as he did. Jeez, I mean, that was like really ugly. But I mean, they don't want to hear about reality. Reality is Gervonta Davis is very overrated. He would never beat Devin Haney right now. He would not beat Teofimo Lopez, and he would not beat an ever-improving Ryan Garcia. And all I do is hear about how great he is. If he's so great, fight people. Don't fight dead 40-year-old bodies with bad legs. Come on, guys. I mean, let's fight real fighters. Okay, Al Heyman has proven what he is. He's an obstructionist to great fights, and he's an enabler of cherry picking, of bad ones, of bad fights. And this is just another product of Al Heyman, propaganda of the highest degree. And that's what they are. They're not in reality. If you matched up top guys in the same weight classes as Heyman's, the top guys, fighter for fighter, Heyman's fighters would get blitzed. Career record, Al Heyman fighters against Bob Arum fighters, 2-14. 2 wins for Heyman, 14 for Arum, and that includes an 8-round fight that was on the show the other day between 2 prospects. But all the serious fights, world title fights, including Fury versus Wilder, including Loma versus Gary Russell. Tyson, there's not even a comparison to two organizations. Heyman's organization, they don't even own a gym. Okay. Yeah, Top Rank's got a gym right in Vegas. You could say the Mayweather gym is a PBC gym, but there's nothing PBC about it. It's all about Floyd's fighters. Okay, so guys, I deal in reality. Okay, I don't deal in fantasy, and the LDBC guys deal in complete fantasy. Complete. When I read comments like Hagler Jamel Charlo, the 160, that he would have beat Hagler. That's all you need to know. Stop, please. That's a joke.
Yeah.
And they're all chiming, oh yeah, he would have knocked Hagler out. He would have done this to Hagler. Please,
please
go there.
Utter, complete and utter.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, they to pump up their current stars of PBC, they deframe all-time greats. They're saying Duran was a brawler, and that Floyd would have beat him. The first of all, the Duran of one night in his life at 147, when he beat Leonard the first time, would have beaten any welterweight of all time that night. Okay, as a lightweight, every single historian and boxing guy says that Duran was the greatest lightweight of all time, followed closely by Benny Leonard. Okay, well, Floyd at 135 pounds, he got a gift decision against Castillo, Jose Luis Castillo, the first time, who was an overachieving club fighter. Solid guy, don't get me wrong, but had nothing special about him. And a journeyman Dominican fighter named Victoriano Sosa actually got awarded 4 rounds, and he did legitimately win 4 rounds. Many people thought he won 5 rounds against Floyd when he was a lightweight. So Floyd was not a great lightweight. People got to get this out of their head. Okay, just like Arturo Gatti, you get this trick question. You get this question all the time, and this is a great question. Who would have won between Paul Spadafore and Gatti at 135? Well, here's my answer real quick. It doesn't matter what weight class Spadafore fought Gatti. He would have played with Gatti, style-wise, ability-wise, height, reach, everything. But Gatti never won one single fight as a lightweight. He was 0-3. He lost twice to Ivan Robinson, once to Angel Manfredi, and then he moved up to 140. He never won a singular fight as a lightweight. Dang. Okay, so that people are too much of a revisionist of history. I deal in facts. I deal in complete reality, and that's what makes me the person that I am. Forget about my knowledge of the business. Forget about my knowledge of the sport. I come with the truth every time something moves out of my mouth. Okay, except a knife and fork. Okay, fact of life. Okay, and that's what I deal with. And I hear all these crazy things that Floyd would have beat Ray Leonard. Floyd would have beaten Tommy Hearns. These are at 147. Not a prayer. No way. Not a prayer. And they deframe all-time great other African Americans to pump up their agenda of today. I call them unpaid PBC hacks, or AKA Haymanites. That's what they are. They're followers and their worships of Al Heyman. Okay, and whoever Al Heyman has, that's who they're behind. Okay, there's no way that Tank Davis beats the other 3 young guns in the division, and ever proven Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney. People got to get out of their fantasy. Now, why aren't they if Haney was with Heyman instead of being with, quote, the white man, okay, Eddie Hearn, he'd be, oh man, him and Tank would be sensational. But no, okay, Tank would kill him. Come on, you got to stop, man. They got just like why is everybody most African Americans over here. Okay, well, that's why they're here. They're African Americans, but African Americans over here are all spent because they're with Al Heyman. Crawford, they're anti-Crawford. Why? He's with the white man. No, I don't go there. That's ridiculous. That's retarded. Okay, that is for lame thinkers. I'm not a lame thinker. People don't pay me exorbitant fees to be a lame thinker. Trust me.
Mhm.
Continue, Raphie.
Pure facts. This is the realest thing on the internet. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it's me. I'm saying it's Rick. The realest thing on the interwebs right now. I only played a small part. I'm playing this. I'm like I'm just
Raphie, you play a big part. Trust me, because if I didn't like you, I didn't think you were a cool guy, I wouldn't be here right now. So as cool guy as you are and likable, I'm here for you.
Damn. Rick Glaser just coming with it. He's just coming. He's just spitting it like a machine gun. I feel like I'm watching one of those old black and white films from black and white films with James Cagney with the machine gun spraying down. He's just spraying down. He's spraying down. Okay, so let's just keep on in this vein. So
fire away. Bring him.
Hey, I'm gonna have to write this shizzle down so I can keep my thoughts straight. And the first thing I'm gonna say is, we just talked about Al Heyman. So we're gonna go through a few people. And the next one, you said there's two people you don't like, two haters in.
I'm not a hater. I just don't like them. Those two people, which is Dan Raphael and Lou DiBella.
Okay, I want you to talk now, if you would be so kind, because news has come through that Dan Raphael. Is that right?
Yeah, he was released by ESPN. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of misconception about his release. He was not fired. Okay. It didn't happen because of the coronavirus, like he's telling people personally. He knew. I wrote the story on Facebook last September that he was not getting his contract at ESPN renewed. End of story. Game over. 15 years shelf life done. They were sick of his BS. I know all the reasons why he was let go. None of them had anything to do with how much they were paying him. And since he knew about it for 8 months, it wasn't about the coronavirus. His contract just happened to expire now. Okay. By the way, it happened on Good Friday. He got released on Friday. The Pope, I heard, change it now to Great Friday.
Dan, you can't rely on me being that quick to pick up those subtle little jokes like that. Took me half a second. Can't do that to me, Rick.
Now, he knew about it for 8 months. Now, I'm going to show you how much Dan Raphael's wore out his welcome in professional boxing. In 8 months, he was never able to pick up a job as a journalist / reporter, announcer, or any job in media with a media agency or a boxing promotional company. Okay? I woke up yesterday morning, Tuesday, okay, knowing that I wouldn't have to read Dan Raphael's bullshit anywhere. And it was a great feeling. Trust me. Okay? The only better feeling in the world than that was one thing. Okay? Making love to a woman you never thought you'd be able to make love to because you thought that she would never say yes.
Dan, let me stop you there. Dan, no. Before you go anywhere, that's one of my best memories, Dan. You just brought up one of my best memories. That was some years ago, and to this day,
any heterosexual real male is gonna think like that. It's a natural thing. You know. Don't forget. Men are about pride and or ego. Okay, always pride. If you don't have any pride in yourself, you're a loser. Now, you don't have to have ego to be a winner or loser. Don't get me wrong. But pride, to be a winner, you got to have pride. Okay? Because if you don't have pride, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Fire away. Keep going here.
Oh yeah. So that's Dan Raphael. Now, I get the impression, I get the feeling that he was a hater to you. He was a hater.
Oh yeah. He did a lot of things to me. I put it on Facebook yesterday morning because people questioned about why I disliked the guy so bad. He for 20 years,
Damn.
He's been a thorn in my side since the year 2000, September of 2000. He's been a thorn in my side. He has been, he's tried to belittle me, downplay my abilities, downplay my prowess in professional boxing, block me from making certain fights that I was making money on. Cost one of my fighters $65,000.
Damn.
Okay, cost Don King $100,000 on one fight because he's a jerk. Okay, on that one fight he cost me $8,000 when he cost Don the $100. Okay, so my point is to you is he deserved everything he received in the last 8 months. He's blocked so many people. He belittled people on his chat room on Fridays. The ESPN had to cut him off. They said it was a technical issue, that the software was out of date. Now, can you imagine a $150 billion world media agency, the all-time leader in professional sports, having software that was outdated? That's why they couldn't continue with the show. Please, who believe that? Who believe that? Okay, maybe somebody's grandmother. Okay. Nobody's going to believe that shit. In the meantime, he has been a thorn in my side. He had 8 months to come up with a job. It just happened to be during the coronavirus that his contract ran out, and they chose to renew it. It was no different than the Joe Girardi with the New York Yankees baseball team. Joe Girardi was not fired. They just elected not to continue with Joe Girardi as the manager of the New York Yankees. They moved on to Aaron Boone, and ESPN is in the process of moving on. They'll probably announce it when we start with boxing again. I don't think they want to pay anybody right now a lot of money to write about nothing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes pure sense. Shout out to Ross Clark, True School Sports, BH Mala, Dr. Wooduk in the building. Yeah, he says Heyman an obstruction to great fights, no doubt about that. 100%.
Don't forget, he's an enabler of bad ones. That's allowing some of the fights that he's made is just embarrassing. It's a funny thing. This is where the problem lies in boxing. Right now, we have a situation that everybody's YouTubing the old fights, the Matthew Sod fights, all the great fights of the 70s and 80s before Heyman was thought of in professional boxing. Okay, and they're saying, "Oh my God, what a fight! What a fight!" Back then, the fighters were known as the champion and the challenger. Today, they're known as the A and the B side. Why? Because it's cherry picking. They say, why are the fights so great? Because they were so evenly matched, even though they were the challengers. Okay, today, I can predict the fight. If a guy in boxing doesn't even have to think about a fight, as soon as he hears it, he knows the preordained winner, what's going to happen, what round, or about what round, the fight shouldn't be made. Okay? That's in a world championship bout that TV's paying for or streaming service is paying for. There's too many lame fights out there that society does not need, and boxing fans, boxing enthusiasts deserve much better than they've received from PBC. Much better.
You see those words there? I think we just have to slow down, pause, just let it sink in, let it marinate. In the times gone by, you had the champion and the challenger. Today, you have the A side and the B side, particularly over there in the Heyman's world. A side, B side, and that's because the A side is has the cards stacked in his favor, and he's fighting somebody who is basically there to lose. Not champion v challenger anymore in Heyman.
Interesting to note. Years ago, okay, and when I tell you years ago, I'm talking about the 70s, the 80s. Okay, a challenger could get a fair decision. Today, you're not the promoter's fighter.
Forget
you
it.
might as well forget it, especially in the world of PVC. Continue.
Yeah. Yes.
Continue.
Absolutely. And that's something that's a big thing. Heyman's world. Yeah. You spoke on something that's very close to the heart of boxing fans right now, particularly over here on this channel. Where do I go from here? Where do plenty of routes, plenty of options? Which route do I take? Do we go straight? Do we go straight in for talking about the heavyweight scene right now? Talking about the WBC? Talking about the Deontay Wilder?
Listen, you got three of the best heavyweights in the world that come from Great Britain right now. Okay, the UK, which are in no particular order, guys. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Daniel Dubois, who's a hot up-and-comer, and Joe Joyce is no joke either. So let's go to heavyweights right now for all your great fans all over the UK, all over Great Britain.
Yeah,
let's hit on the heavyweights, guys.
Let's do this. But before we get to the UK scene specifically, I want to talk about the Deontay Wilder. I want to talk about Deontay Wilder. That's the first guy I want to talk about.
Fire away.
Okay. Well, let me bounce it back. We're playing tennis. Let me bounce it right back to you. I'm gonna word association. Let's do word association. Deontay Wilder. What does that conjure up to you?
In a different era, journeyman.
I told you guys. Rick, don't play around. Rick, don't play around. And we're gonna stay on Deontay Wilder for a second, for a few minutes actually. How the hell did Deontay Wilder become the W? Well, we know how he became. No, I'm gonna ask you.
Listen. Deontay Wilder can punch a hole in a wall, but remember, he's fighting in non-moving objects. As soon as he fought an object that moved, like Tyson Fury, he didn't look too good, did he? Can't box a lick. Okay, here's a great quote for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder was a figment of Al Heyman's imagination. That's the bottom line.
Damn. But he manifested it somehow. He manifested it. If Deontay Wilder was Clay,
because he avoided the Dylan Whites, he avoided the Tyson Furies for a long time, and as soon as he got in with a real guy, game was over. And that's what he was. He was capable of beating journeyman heavyweights, like Spilka and like Eric Molina and stuff. And no disrespect to journeyman fighters, but he was not fighting great fighters or top guys ever. Luis Ortiz is almost as old as I am. He's 51 years old. He just turned 51 in March.
I know. I've got the video, Rick. I've got the video. People came up my neck because I'm putting up the video saying Luis Ortiz is 50.
He's now 51. You lied.
I did it last year.
He's now 51. They're lying about his age. Let me ask you a question. Does he look like a 40-year-old man, or does he look like a 50-year-old man?
Come on. Anybody with a functioning eyeball can see the man's way past his 40s. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good line, a functioning eyeball, because even a bad set of eye will do. So you're right. Very good.
Anyone with a functioning eyeball can see that excellente. Much appreciation goes out to BH. Different people supporting the channel in different ways. Don't be afraid of that super chat button. Bringing it here to you, Rick Glaser, live on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's an honor and a pleasure. And let the man speak, and you will get the truth. You will hear the truth. So what who we just talking about? The figment of and I think you've said a lot. You've said a lot that I say over here, but it's just nice to hear it from a different source. But you said what I said, and what we say. It's not just me. It's a team of people. It's Rascal, it's Red Glove Militant, it's the John Daly, it's the Big Boys Boxing when he's available. It's the Mala, and we say it over here. Sorry for anybody I've forgotten. We say it over here. It's the James. Yeah, we say it over here that Deontay Wilder, he looks good because of the level of the competition. He's been manipulated. He's who he fights.
I think you meant the low level of competition.
Because of the low level of the competition. You know, if you put a man with his 3-year-old son and put him in a wrestling competition, who do you think's gonna win? It's obvious. So we went through his resume. We've done it so many times over here till I'm blue in the face. We've gone through his resume, and it is so abysmal. It is so abysmal. He was fighting cruiserweight, light heavyweights. Even as a champion, he was fighting guys who were barely ranked. We've gone through it. It's crazy. How the hell can a champion fight somebody who's barely ranked?
You know, it's just embarrassing. I'd rather move on to the UK fighters.
We're gonna in a second, real quick.
It's embarrassing the boxing. He's just done so many negative things. Al Heyman's done so many negative things to boxing that it's a joke. Seriously, so it's definitely a joke. He was the downfall of HBO boxing. He's now the downfall of Showtime boxing, and he doesn't stop. It's going to be hard for him to be the downfall of Fox boxing because it's free. So, that's pretty hard to be the downfall of. But when you're paying for stuff, you don't want to see garbage. You want to see real fights. Okay? As I said one day, and I believe somebody said to me, well, Al Heyman's got so many champions. Well, first of all, Top Rank's got more champs than him. Top Rank's got 16. Heyman's got 14 presently, and Eddie Hearn's got 13. So he's just got fighters that are long reigning champions because they were interim champions for a long time. Finally, they become champions by osmosis, and you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares to see that garbage. They want to see real fights. Real fights. Everybody's looking forward to Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez when this thing is over with, because they were supposed to do it May 30th. Everybody's looking forward to Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. They're going to hopefully they're going to Frank Warren's going to be able to get it off on get that going on for July 11th. Those are the fights people want to see. Real fights where nobody knows who's going to win for sure. We don't need fights that the winner is preordained. Okay? And Al Heyman's playing Pope when he does that because those fights are preordained. The winners are preordained. Once in a while, there's an upset. Only by accident, not by planning. Continue.
Okay. Now, you bring it perfectly, and this is how we're going to segue into the UK. This was not pre-planned, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, once in a while, you just said it. Once in a while, an accident happens. And Rick Glaser, an accident just happened over there. I think it was February the 22nd over there in the MGM Grand Las Vegas.
That wasn't an accident. Okay. I predicted it clearly that he'd win. I just didn't know it'd be that decisive, that Fury would win. That wasn't an accident. Al Heyman was trapped. Okay. Here's why. They picked on Wilder. They picked on Fury because they saw those two comeback fights he had when he was out of shape and he was picking up decent paydays with Frank Warren. And they said, "Oh, we can beat him. He's not a puncher. He's not this." And he came up with a draw. But the problem was they had a rematch clause, automatic rematch clause. Okay, so that's what happened. Then when they had the rematch clause, when there was a winner determined in the next fight, there was what they call the loser has an option to have a third fight. The loser has a sole option. So they had no choice but to fight Fury because it was an automatic rematch clause. Heyman wouldn't, after that first fight, Heyman didn't want to do that. Aaron jumped in, okay, and then it was even worse for him. In the meantime, well, now there's a rematch clause, and what's his name picked up, and Wilder was dumb enough to pick up the rematch clause because I believe that he's shot. He knows it. Another huge payday, and he goes off into the sunset. Now the coronavirus, because the economy will be in the doghouse, it'll be in the shitter. That might not happen as fast as they said it was in October 3rd, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the new date. But I don't know because you need fans in the stands in the place and pack the arena to be able to make any money on that show. So I don't think we're going to have open arenas by then. I think we'll be doing boxing by then, but I think it'll be in studio type settings or no fans or whatever you want to call it. And they're going to be hard pressed. Heyman should be happy that fight won't happen. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's where I'll leave that off. Let's get into your three great heavyweights over there. Your three excellent heavyweights over there.
Okay. Okay.
Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and of course Joe Joyce.
Yeah. Dillian, did you miss out Dillian White?
No, I didn't miss him out, but not at all.
Let's talk on Dillian White first. Let's talk on Dillian White first, because I can see that I sense that you are not a particular fan of the lone wolf, Dillian White.
No. I like Dillian White. Oh, no. Wrong. In other words, I know the only reason why I mentioned Joe Joyce is because he's fighting Daniel Dubois. He was an Olympian. He's coming up, and the fight's coming up. If not, I would have just mentioned the other three. You just, the names go on and on. I mean, you got other great players. They're just not heavyweights. But in the heavyweight, this is how I feel about your heavyweights, okay? And we'll start with Dillian White.
Yeah.
He was number one contender. Wilder, Heyman, and the WBC did everything not to call it the mandatory. When you go to BoxRec and you tell me what wasn't a mandatory when he's fighting for WBC belts of some type, okay, against other top 10 contenders, a joke. 3 years sitting there like a jerk off.
Yeah,
terrible. I agree with everything he has said, Dillian White, and I believe he was very, very capable of knocking Wilder dead. Okay, don't forget Fury's not a puncher. Don't forget Fury's not a puncher. Fury is a boxer that can punch a little bit. He's not a puncher. Okay, Joshua is a puncher. White is a puncher. Wilder is a puncher. Okay, Dubois is a really good puncher. Okay, next. Okay, we'll go to Anthony Joshua. Yeah. Anthony Joshua has great abilities. Yes, he's a little chinny, but I think he's sensational for the game. He talks very, very well. He makes sense every time he opens up his mouth. He makes sense, and that's great to know that a guy representing boxing throughout the world, and especially a great boxing country like the UK is, like Great Britain is. I think he's fantastic for boxing. I think he's an excellent fighter. I think he's a little chinny, but if Klitschko hit me, okay, or Andy Ruiz hit me, I'd be out like a light. and nobody's ever called me chinny. So, is he a little chinny?
Is he chinny, or is it just in the heavyweights? He's in the heavyweights. If you get clipped, you go.
That's part of it. That's part of it. But I wouldn't say he's chinny as much as he does he's not known to have
A granite chin.
one of his better attributes. Let's put it that way to you. You know, he's big, strong guy. He's got good balance. He can punch a hole in a wall. He boxes relatively well for a big guy, and he's very, very, very good fighter. Excellent fighter. Do I think he would have beaten Lennox Lewis? Absolutely not. So we don't even need to discuss that. He would have got his style would have been tailor made for Lennox Lewis, just like Michael Grant was, Andrew Galata was. Same ending.
Yeah.
Okay, Lennox Lewis was Lennox Lewis all by himself.
Yeah. Which let me ask you a question there. Let me interrupt. Which current heavyweight in the current crop would beat Lennox Lewis?
Fury would be competitive with him, but he eventually would get caught. They all do. Okay, just like you got to remember something. Francois Botha was supposed to be this really good boxer, pure boxer, that would give Lennox all kinds of problems. He went to sleep in 2 rounds. Okay, Michael Grant was supposed to be this really good boxer. He went to sleep in 2 rounds. Okay, Andrew Galata was a good boxer. He went to sleep in 1 round.
Damn.
Lennox Lewis was special. Okay, he had a different attitude. He was arrogant but not cocky. He was a guy who delivered on what he said. He revenged his only 2 losses. With knockouts, with stoppages, and he was a great fighter. Greatly underrated all time. I'm a huge believer in Lennox Lewis. Always have been, always will be. Look what he did to Razor Ruddock in 2 rounds. I mean, all these good fighters going out 1 and 2 rounds. There's truth in quantity, my friend.
Yes, and quality, and the quality of his opponents.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were all quality, and look how many times he did it.
Yeah,
and I would say Fury would have the best shot. In other words, like a best chance, but he still wouldn't beat him. But he'd have the best chance because he's a really good boxer, has good reflexes, knows how to hold a guy. He'd at least, if he wouldn't win, he'd at least last a lot longer. Okay, going to Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Okay. He has a huge advantage over Anthony Joshua. Okay. I'm a Joshua fan. I'm not a believer of Joshua, but here's why Fury has a huge advantage. Fury was born to be a fighter. He was born and bred to be a fighter. True. He was raised to be a fighter. Okay. Everything he did in his life was about boxing. There's videos of him when he was 17, 18 years old, and pictures of him at the Kronk Gym in Detroit with Emmanuel Stewart. Okay, and that's like living proof right there on how good that they thought he was going to be. And the guy was named Tyson for a reason. His father named him after Mike Tyson. He was born to be a fighter, bred to be a fighter, raised to be a fighter, and became the WBC World Heavyweight Champ and currently the best heavyweight in the world. The reason why he would have a big advantage over Anthony Joshua is because he's what you call a natural fighter, born and bred natural fighter. Anthony Joshua, I'm not saying he's manufactured by his record, not at all. He's beaten good fighters along the way. He's beaten good fighters. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that he started out boxing later than Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
And then Tyson Fury did completely later. And he was not manufactured, but he was manufactured compared to Tyson Fury, who was born and bred to be what he is today. And that, folks, is a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Okay, very big. Natural fighting instincts in there. Okay, knowing when to hold, knowing distance, knowing when to get out of the way of firepower. Just like Fury, Wilder was throwing punches, and what's his name was sliding backwards or jumping backwards or going to the side. That's all natural instincts. Anthony Joshua does not have those kind of instincts.
I agree. I've said it on here before that if they were to meet, hopefully they do meet when they are to meet. Tyson Fury, as much I'm a fan of Lennox Lewis, more so than Tyson Fury. But even so, I say Tyson. I've said it multiple times. Tyson Fury is the favorite, and the reason being that he's been doing it since he was 8. Joshua started when he was 18, and
eight's late. This guy was born to be, but you don't get. Nobody gives somebody the name. Some guy from England doesn't call his kid Tyson after Mike Tyson at birth because he doesn't want him to be a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have wanted him to be a genius, he'd name him Albert after Albert Einstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I like you. Give Fury, have the Fury in that fight with Anthony Joshua. I have Fury as the favorite.
I clear winner. Forget favorite. Clear winner.
Yeah. To you, clear winner. But to me, I think he ultimately gets knocked out. I think he gets clipped. If not knocked out, he gets dropped a couple of times. I think he gets.
Who, Joshua?
No, Fury. I think he gets clipped a couple of times.
No, he's too. He gets hit, but he won't. He won't end up on the deck. He's too smart and slick because he knows Joshua is heavy-handed, and Joshua has to set up the land. Wilder didn't have to set up the land.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, his power was there. Okay, even if he didn't set up.
Yeah,
Joshua's got to set up. No, mm-hmm. I don't see him on the deck. I mean, could he get clipped one time? Yeah, but
yeah.
I don't see it. I see Joshua getting up twice to lose a decision. More than I see Wilder going down. More than I would see Fury going down one time.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's excellent.
Fury's a lot faster with the jab, much more fluid with his feet.
Yeah,
feet count for a lot. You're not hitting the guy with your feet, but you're getting in position with the feet to knock a guy out, or hit him to knock him out.
100%.
You're cooling down on me. I'm rip roaring, ready to go. You had me warmed up for 3 days. Come on, Raphie. Come with him, Raphie. Come with him.
I'm not slowing down, bro. I got questions for days. But I just like to tap on some of these comments.
Okay. Here's one for you that I like all you UK, Great Britain boxing enthusiasts to warm up to. You ready?
Yeah.
The best. Forget about what happened in 175 at the tail and Joe Calzaghe's last fight. He won. The best of Joe Calzaghe at 168 would have beaten the best of Roy Jones.
Damn. The best of.
The best.
Wow. Well, that's the best. The best. I don't know. I'm not going to agree with you on that. I'm going to
Raphie. Yeah. I'm going to run something by you because you're a very smart guy. Okay, you grasp things well. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Calzaghe quit after that because he realized he didn't have it anymore, that he was shot. So he was not at the top of his game when he fought Roy. He was shot too. That's why he didn't fight anymore. So it was 2 shot guys fighting each other.
Yeah.
And look what happened. It wasn't the best of Calzaghe. Just like Lennox Lewis quit and left with the title when he beat Vitaly Klitschko because he realized he didn't have it anymore. And he walked away from the game. And I give both guys a lot of credit leaving with their money, their scruples. They left with everything. Okay? I give both guys, Lennox Lewis and Joe Calzaghe, a lot of credit for that. And the best of Joe Calzaghe would have beaten the best of Roy Jones.
Damn. You're hearing it here live. On Boxing Talk with Raphie, joining us in the hot seat.
No, people ask me why I'm so steadfast on that.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, not only was he left-handed, Not only did he have fast feet and fast hands, he had tremendous endurance. He could throw as many punches in the 12th round as he did in any other round in the fight. His output was super high, and he did a lot of feints and dekes. And Roy would have to really think, and those feints and dekes would knock down Roy's punching output and his rhythm. And Roy fought off of rhythm.
Yeah, I agree.
Those feints and dekes and making Roy think would slow Roy down to a pace that Joe would want to fight at, where Joe could outpoint him by throwing more punches per round, which he did anyways to everybody he fought. Now, the flip side of that, the people say, well, the smart guys say to me, well, he could have counterpunched Joe. Well, so did 46 other people.
Yeah.
Joe left the game 46-0, and I rest my case.
Well,
Carver was not nearly as good as Roy Jones, and there was a controversial decision the first time, and Roy got knocked dead in the second.
Yeah,
he was left-handed too.
Yeah,
there you go.
That said, there's a weight issue of Roy coming down in weight prior to those fights and then going up again, which was ill-advised.
I agree, but boxing is style.
Yeah.
Okay. And little tendencies guys do, little idiosyncrasies guys do to somebody else, little tendencies, the feints, the dekes, okay, the fast hands, moving his head, just the angles that Joe did, the slip around, hit you when you turn around. He had too much. Believe me. Roy was a great fighter, a natural talent, but Joe Calzaghe would have had his number. He was just one of those type of guys. Yeah.
Well, Joe Calzaghe. I'm going to come back. I'm coming back at you. I'm coming back at you, Rick. I can't let you get away with that, Rick.
Let me say one more thing to you. Let me say one thing. You think that Raphie, you think that Calzaghe would have come over here and beat Bernard Hopkins, attempted to fight Hopkins if he didn't think he was going to win, and he did win on American soil? First time ever over here.
Joe Calzaghe is a great. There ain't no doubt about it. I'm a fan. And one of my professional boxing friends just lives a mile and a half away. He said that he was on the same card as Joe. And bear in mind, this guy's a professional. He said the speed and the power that he displayed on the pads was in the warm-up area was something else.
People think he was a slapper. He wasn't a slapper. He started out as a puncher in his career, and then he got brittle hands. So then he turned to slapping later on to protect his hands.
Yeah.
There you go. But believe me, those slaps were pretty hard.
Because the friend of mine, I don't know if it was early in Joe's career, maybe it was, because my friend I'm talking about, he never got to the top, so it's probably earlier in his career. But he said the speed and the power that he saw from Joe on the pads was something to behold. But we got Rick over here to speak his mind, and that's exactly what he does. I don't have to agree with him on everything. I'm not going to agree with him on everything. As for
if you agree with everything, what kind of guy would you be? What kind of guy would I be?
Yeah. We're not those types of guys. We're not going to agree on everything, and nor should we. I'll go with Jones, and I obviously have to explain my position, and then we move on. I'll go with Jones on the basis of his. When we talk about understanding, we just talked about understanding with Tyson Fury, and I agree with you. His understanding of the game is impeccable. But I think that Roy Jones' understanding was impeccable as well. And I think Roy Jones' understanding was superior to that of Calzaghe. So all those attributes that you mentioned about Calzaghe, I agree with. However, I think the difference is I think that Roy Jones had a better IQ, better understanding.
I want to run something past you.
All right.
Three great left-handers in the last 30 years. Pernell Whitaker, no particular order.
Yeah.
Pernell Whitaker, Joe Calzaghe, and Paul Spadafora. Why did they win? You know why?
Why?
It didn't come to tear off your head and shit in your neck. They came to make you look bad. In the process, they won.
Yeah.
Those are the hardest guys to beat. Guys that don't come to win. They come to make you look bad. In the process, they win. That's how Kawasaki beat Jeff Lacey. Jeff went out there to rip his head off and shit in his neck. That's how that's how it happened. That's why. That's the other big reason that I feel Joe Kawasaki would beat Roy Jones. Bring it. Come on, next. Let's move. Let's move.
Rick ain't come to mess around or take no prisoners, mate. He reminds me of the cop that tried to CS gas me from behind. You know, I had to pull out some matrix moves.
A guy inboxed me on Twitter and he said, you know, I never knew who you were, but you're a pretty cool guy. I said, you never met me in person. You'll really think I'm cool.
That's cool in the gang, man. That's cool in the gang. That's cool in the gang. Okay. So we talked about Fury, Joshua, Dillian White. Let's go to Joyce and Dubois.
It's what boxing's all about. Two guys relatively early in their career, 3-year pros, giving it 1,000% in there. They will give 1,000% each guy. And I like Dubois in the fight. I think he's special. I think he's a better puncher. I think he's bigger and stronger. And I think that the Bowers brothers have done a great job with him. I think Frank Warren's done a great job of putting out the PR. And I know I'm a big believer in Daniel Dubois. And if he's as good as I think he is, he will be victorious. Hopefully it'll be on July 11th, but he'll be victorious whenever they do fight. That doesn't mean I don't like Joe Joyce as a fighter, but I don't think Joe Joyce is special. I think Joe Joyce is very good. And I think that this guy is just one level up. This guy's like a Nathan Gorman type guy where he's good, but he's not beating this guy. Just like Dillian White fought early in his career, fought Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua overcame and he won. And I don't think it's any different of a fight than that type of fight. I think it's identical, actually.
Excellent. Okay. So what was in my mind just a second ago? Yeah, I want you, if you would, to break down Dillian White versus the guy that's been ducking him for probably 3 years. Deontay.
Well, right now, he's shot. Wilder's on the back nine heading towards the clubhouse. Whether he retires or not after one more loss, I don't know. But he's going to be damaged goods after what Fury did to him. You cannot suffer a prolonged beating at the heavyweight level over 7 rounds, or any division really, but especially the heavyweights, and not have it affect your hand and eye coordination, not affect your nervous system and everything else. It's impossible. He is damaged goods. I always thought Dillian White would beat him, and I think Dillian White would beat him a lot easier now. A lot easier, especially with advance notice. Dillian White's the kind of guy, if he thinks he's going to win easy, and he doesn't, it's like he's not in great shape, but he'll come in like an Adonis. He'll come in honed, ready to go. And I think it's a complete blowout.
A complete blowout. Dillian White blows out Deontay Wilder.
Yes. Now, before I think he beats him, but now he blows him out. Yep. I think it's 4 rounds, like 4 rounds. Yeah.
Woo. I've always said over here that Dillian White knocks Deontay Wilder out. I've always said that. Well, bear testament.
He would have not. I'm not saying he wouldn't have knocked him out before. But I'm saying he'll just not come out earlier now. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I totally agree. And you've raised an interesting point, which I want to stay on for a second, because something that I've strongly suspected for a while. You've suggested that Deontay Wilder could possibly, in your opinion, could possibly retire after the second Fury defeat? When Fury beats him again. And
I would if he gets destroyed again, I would say absolutely retire. You'll have enough money to retire. I mean, it doesn't cost a lot of money to live in Alabama, guys. It's sort of like living in Birmingham, England. Okay, this ain't London. So I would say he should retire. Okay. You know, I don't see him winning. I don't see him even, forget about a puncher's chance. He doesn't even have a puncher's chance. That game is over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're gonna stand in for a while because I got a few more questions.
Listen, you got 9 minutes to go. If not, I gotta charge you.
Okay. 9 minutes. Are you serious? Is that what we got? Is that we got 9 minutes?
I'm running out of juice on my cell phone, actually.
Hey, Rick, you should have had that being charged up at the same time.
Wait, it was charged. It was 100%. It's down to 24% between the video and the conversation. It's wearing down quickly. Continue.
Okay, let's get this thing in. Let's get it in. Okay, so I want to ask you about something that we talked about over here often, and that is that many people believe. Rick, I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 next week. I think you're gonna have to come back next week, Rick, if you're available. Because
listen, Raphie, for you, as long as the coronavirus is on, I'm in because I know I have the time. If the coronavirus wasn't happening, I don't know if I would have the time, but I've got the commitments to you. Definitely beyond next week.
I appreciate that 100%. You heard it here, folks. Rick Glaser has agreed to come on same time, same place, same time next week. But in the meantime, we've got a few minutes with him left before the battery dies. So, yeah, my question to you is we've often speculated over here, and credit to John Dealey. He's been a major proponent of this school of thought, although it's something I do believe myself. And that is that Deontay Wilder's power is overrated. Speak on that.
Absolutely. We touched on it earlier. Absolutely. He needs a guy literally to stand in front of him, and they're C fighters. They're C fighters and B minuses. They're not the top guys. They're not Joshua. They're not Daniel Dubois. They're not Joe Joyce. They're not Wilder, Fury, those type of guys. You saw what happened when he fought an excellent fighter and not even a great puncher in Fury. It was almost like after the fourth round and on, it was almost like Wilder was pissed off if he didn't get hit. He was like it looked like he was trying. I mean, he wasn't, but he had hit so often and tags with such good shots. It was like he was trying to get hit. It was like he was pissed off if he didn't get hit. So the game's over. The ticket's been punched.
The jig's
got
up.
one more good fight in him, and that's it. For a big payday, and that's it.
Damn. So I have to reiterate. I've been believing this for a while. Deontay Wilder. Okay, we're gonna have to touch this. We can't leave this out. Deontay Wilder has no intention of fighting Anthony Joshua. That's I'm putting that to you, Rick Glaser.
There's no reason anymore for Eddie Hearn to let Al Heyman in the door like he did Andy Ruiz, and maybe Wilder lands a lucky shot. He won't do that at all. No prayer again. Remember, while Joshua was supposed to fight the rematch, or Ruiz against Joshua for $10 million, all of a sudden it's $14 million or some. They held him up for $4 million. Eddie Hearn, put it this way, to Eddie Hearn's a pretty bright guy. He ain't making the same mistake twice.
100%. They held him up for $4 million. Andy Ruiz held him up for $4 million. Okay, so we've chopped that up. Now let's get into what else? What else we got?
I want to just say before we go, you got some more questions, fine. But I just want to say, if anybody would like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Rick Glaser. At Real Rick Glaser 1, and it's Glaser Glaser. It's at Real Rick Glaser 1, and today I got fresh stories up. There are some fake Rick Glaser Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts please, it's at Real Rick Glaser 1. There's an at Rick Glaser 1 that's not me. There's a whole bunch of them that aren't me. I'm up there. You'll see current stuff that I tweeted today. Then you'll know it's the real me. Okay, it's at Real Rick Glaser 1.
Well, all you do.
The second thing I like to say is I like to have you hang this your video, your show on my Facebook wall for my people. Is that possible?
Which video? This one?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course. Your Facebook, I can do that. I think I tried to follow you on Facebook. It wouldn't let me. You got too many followers apparently. But
I'll take a Raphie for you. I'll take a few off. And what you do is, if you want to,
why don't you follow me? Why don't you follow me?
Oh, okay. I will do that. Okay. That's a good idea. Then what you do is you message me the video, and then I'll put it up myself so everybody can see it once I do. You put it up, only certain people can see it.
Excellent.
Okay?
Excellent. I'll do that. And moreover, what you can do is send me and all your contact details that you want me to put in the description box of this video. Rick's frozen. Rick is frozen. Has Rick gone? Has Rick gone? It's a good thing he gave his contact details. I don't know if you can still hear me, Rick, but you're frozen over here. And I think if you were still with us, you would say something, but you're not. So all you do, Rick, is you send me whatever details you want me to put in the description box, and I will do so. Okay, I don't know if Rick can still hear me, but yeah. Send me your details, Rick, whatever you want me to put in the description box, and I'll put it into the description box of this video. Okay, Rick's definitely gone now. Definitely gone. Let me... Oh, he's back. The resurrection. The resurrection.
It just dropped all of a sudden. My apology.
That's no problem at all. But what I was saying, Rick, is that any details that you want me to put in the description box of this video, all you got to do is just send it to me, yeah? No
problem. Fantastic. Yeah. We'll do so.
You send it to me, and I'll put it in the description box. So that will be excellent. And we're going to talk some more via our usual method. Get all of Rick's details in there. Make sure that you follow Rick. You've heard him for yourself. This man, he don't play around. He don't joke around.
Listen, I play for keeps. Doesn't matter if it's boxing, food, or women. I play for keeps.
100%. I can't say I play for keeps. I play for borrow. I'm more of a type of borrowing type of guy. You know, I'll borrow your lady, give her back. I think he's very respectful of me.
Raphie, I got two good stories to tell you about the coronavirus right now.
Tell me.
One friend of mine says to me, I got to be home with my wife because I haven't made love to her in a long time. She actually wants me to make love to her. I said, well, geez. I says, you know, my business is terrible. He says, my business is so bad, I might have to lay off my girlfriend. Next. Okay. Another guy says to his wife, honey, I want to make love to you. She goes, I'm practicing social distancing.
Damn. A lot of women have been practicing social distancing, particularly the married ones. They're good at that. But Rick, you know what? I think we've rounded it up perfectly. I think it's a perfect roundup. And Rick has promised to, and he's a man of his word. He kept the date today. Rick has promised if the corona is still in effect next week.
Anyway, the corona is going to be in effect next week. I just bet any time that going forward after that, you need to be, you know, just sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. I might be on an airplane. I might be, you know, I got plans with my friends socially. You know, I do have a life. Boxing, it's, you know, I spend time with my wife, my male friends. But, you know, as I always say about boxing, boxing's my life, my hobby. It's my passion. It's everything about me. And I'm very proud to say that, you know, boxing has served me well, and I've served boxing even better.
Excellent. So Rick is a friend of the channel. We're friends with Rick. And yeah, Rick's going to be back next week. I think we've rounded up perfectly, Rick. Rick didn't slow my flow. He thought I was going to run out of energy because he thought I was going to run out of energy, but I just rode that wave in and landed perfectly on the shore. And next week, that was easy stuff. Those questions just flowed easily, but I've got a whole battalion of questions in the chat. And so next week we're gonna be freestyling. We're gonna be going all over the place.
You don't have to look at me on the video right now. In other words, on the video, just do the audio. I can continue by plugging the phone in and still talking to you.
Well, you know something, Rick. I think this has just been perfect timing. It's perfect. It's a perfect length, so people can get this and watch it the whole way through. I like to keep the videos at a certain length to keep it, nice 2 hours. Boom, you can watch it. It's like watching a film for 2 hours as opposed to watching a film for 4 hours. I prefer the 2 hour films, and then we can do it more often and keep it fresh.
In closing, I like to say, wish everybody the best of health. Stay safe. Practice everything your government over there and the doctors tell you to practice right now. And I hope everybody's on the channel next week again. And let's do a question and answer thing next week. Less interview and more question and answer. Let everybody ask any question they want, and I'll answer any question they want. How's that, Raphie?
Pow, pow, pow. That is perfect. So what I suggest,
your people know, if they didn't know me now before, they know me now. Let's come with all the questions, because they're going to get a truthful, straight answer. I won't have to think about anything because I know the answers before they ask the questions.
Boom, boom, boom. That's exactly what we're going to do next week. We're going to have a question and answer session. Keep Raphie.
We don't need no warm-ups of bodybuilders, John Furies. Raphie, we need nobody but you.
and you. Down.
I'm just a sidelight to you. It's your show, baby. Remember, everybody, it's Real Rick Glaser 1, Glaser at Real Rick Glaser 1, and I'm the friendliest guy in the world. Answer all your questions on Raphie's show, and follow me on Twitter, Raphie. Hang that thing on my messenger. I'll hit you back as a friend on Facebook shortly.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to next week. Like I am a sexy woman. Oh, I tried. I'm married. Shit.
Rick Glaser is the man. He's the man. Much appreciated, Rick. I'm going to talk to you later. Maybe appreciated. Same place, same time next week. Thank you very much, Rick Glaser. Okay, so there it is. For you guys, follow me on Twitter. We haven't finished yet. I'm just saying that if you want to follow me on Twitter. I don't really use Facebook like that. Just using it to send Rick the clip. Send Rick the clip. Yeah. Although can one not just take the video itself from YouTube and somebody who's tech savvy, talk to me. Can one not just take the video, watch the video on YouTube and send it to oneself? Can that work? Maybe, but either way, I'll get the video to Rick. Don't worry about that. Okay, so let's get into the chat. John Dealey. I'm showing this. Yeah. John Dealey says entertainment. Raphie, make sure you hit that like button, folks. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter. Because there's some exclusive content there that you guys who aren't following me are missing out on. Phil Walker is up. Is that? Yeah, Phil Walker up in the building. I'm scrolling through. Great interview, says Lisa Bayliss. Much appreciated, Lisa. Much appreciated. What else we got? I'm scrolling back. I'm scrolling through some of the chat. Smarty Jones says this was a great interview. Yeah, it makes it easier when you got a great interviewee. But thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words. Where we at? Yes, AD up in the building, Will up in the building, Smarty Jones. Who else have I not mentioned? BH up in the building. Okay, still scrolling through. These comments. Lots of comments. Lots and lots of comments. I like this one in particular. Ricky's going to do a human sacrifice. Ricky's going to human sacrifice some of his Facebook followers for Raphie. Sad day for them. That's funny. Great entertainment, says John Dealey. Pablo Diablo up in the building. BH says good stuff. Phil Walker says good interview, Raph. Much appreciated. It's like showbiz. Keep them wanting more. Absolutely. Big shout out to Rick. No doubt. Keep Rick on a retainer. OMG. Chase Athletics up in the building. Yeah, Rick Glaser's the man. Definitely. Great show, says the Equalizer. Excellent interview, says Avizo. Okay, so what time is it now? Yeah, it's still nice and early. I could keep going. I don't know what to do. Do we touch on a topic? Or do I just leave it there? With the interview, with the Rick Glaser interview? And Rick, I'll contact you in the morning, my friend, because I'm knackered right about now. So I'm just going to hit the sack. So I'm going to, you contact me with everything you want me to put, all your contact details you want me to put in the description box. And I can do that tonight. What else? What else do I need to do? What else have I got to do? Yeah, give me 24 hours to upload the video to you, Rick. Let me figure it out. Did somebody put a thumb down in? Oh yeah, there is. Somebody did. They did. Yeah, good interview. Yeah, hey, listen. If you ain't got haters, you're doing it wrong. That's what I say. If you ain't got haters, you're doing it wrong. You know, I need a small percentage of haters to let me know that I'm doing it right. So that one thumbs down there is from a straight up hater. But we need them. Everybody needs a certain amount of hate. I don't really use Facebook, my friend. I don't really use Facebook. There's a Twitter page. So you can follow me. Everybody wants to follow me on Twitter. And Twitter's good as well because it lets you know it works when YouTube fails. So, I mean, I contacted Red Glove Militant to let him know that the show was on and what the start time via Twitter. I put these things up via Twitter. So anybody who's on Twitter, I recommend you follow me. The link is in the description box. Yeah, man, you got to have a certain amount of love for the haters because it makes you realize that you're doing it right. No haters and you're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So anybody who wants to follow me, anybody who's on Twitter, then I recommend you follow me on Twitter for exclusive content. Got the hater blockers on at all times. They can be deployed at a moment's notice. And these aren't shades. These are actually lights, but I don't know. They look like the shades. They're not shades. They're glasses for sure. So yeah, yeah. If you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter for exclusive content, and also I drop some timings of the show because sometimes YouTube fails, and also I drop some jokey content on Twitter, which I don't do on YouTube. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea to follow me on Twitter if you are already on Twitter. The Facebook thing, I haven't got a Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Facebook page. Maybe I should do. I don't know. Something I'll consider if it's a good idea. If multiple people get back to me and tell me it's a good idea, then of course I can easily adjust. I can easily adjust to that. That ain't no thing. May touch on one subject before we go, just to bring everything down to a smooth landing. Get into a smooth. Yeah, actually, I know for a fact we're gonna do one topic. We're gonna chop up. As a matter of fact, let me just get people's feedback. So anybody who wants to jump on, let me copy that. So I don't even have to copy it really, but anyway, it's there. Anybody who wants to jump on while I do this last topic, talk about this article, the link is in the chat. So yeah, we're gonna do one topic to just glide in, land the plane. We're gonna land this baby. I think it was a perfect time. You just keep it nice and punchy and boom, 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 pure hit after hit after hit. Oh, by the way, anybody who hasn't checked out my fastest hands video, who's got the fastest hands in boxing right about now, currently, anybody who hasn't checked that out, but they want some more content, then feel free to do so. I think it was my the last video I've posted. It's up there. Don't do it now. Do it afterwards. It's about 15 minutes. So if you got 15 minutes, you want to chill, you want to have a cup of coffee, cup of tea, cup of cha, whatever. It's a good video to have playing. It's got some footage in there, video footage included. Maybe I should have wrote that. Let's open this thing. Okay, we're just gonna do one. I'm just gonna go through one article and do one thing so we can land this in nicely. And I've heard a pop. Where am I? That's not the screen. I've heard a pop and boom, boom, boom. In comes man like John Daly. John Daly, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Raphie. I was enjoying the show. I like Rick.
Yeah, man. Rick don't mess
He's
around.
a cool guy. I like him.
He don't mess around, man. He just tells it like it is. But you know, it was important to me. I want to speak to Rick anyway because, well, for what you saw there, he just tells it like he sees it. So I wanted to interview Rick for that reason. But besides that, I really wanted to give him the right to reply to how he was portrayed
To Aquaman.
over there on. Say that again.
To Aquaman.
Yeah. I haven't called him Aquaman in a while.
It's been a while. I thought I'd roll it out because we
bring him back.
Yeah, we're bringing it back because being disrespectful to people in the industry.
Yeah.
Look what happens to Big Fat Dan. You must be careful, Aquaman.
You know what I'm saying? So I really, as well as want to interview him anyway, but I really wanted to give him the right to reply to that. Because you have someone on your show one day, and because they don't say what you wanted them to say, you slate them a few days later. You say, oh, we spoke to that guy, and don't believe him. He's not credible. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool at all.
Unfortunately, like Rick was saying, there's that side of the street, they're more interested in propaganda than facts.
That's actually very well stated. On that side of I want to reiterate that, folks. On that side of the street, they are more interested in propaganda than facts. And I wanted to say that I wanted to give him the right to reply. I gave the right to reply, and he did it beautifully because he did the setup, because you know his background, and then boom, and then it was clear. It's clear. I mean, not that I doubted Rick. I mean, I follow him on Twitter, looked at his Facebook, etc., etc. And so it's not that I doubted him, but I just wanted, in his own words, rebut that. This has been stated, so rebut it. And I'm not slagging off Aquaman either. I'm just saying I didn't think it was cool because it was driven. I don't think it was driven for truth, by truth. It was driven by agenda. You don't have a man over on your show and then slag him off a few days later. Nah, I'm not cool with that. I am not cool with that whatsoever. But anyway, I want to thank everybody because some people are dropping off right now. Thank everybody who came in. But I do want to touch on this one article. So we're going to be another 10 minutes or so. I do want to touch on this. Also, did you enjoy the interview, John?
Yeah, it was making me laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with everything he said, but
no,
that's normal. That's how it should be.
And he's not going to agree with everything you say, and he's not going to agree with everything I say, and nor should he.
Well, we don't always agree anyway, do we?
We don't always agree, and on Friday, I think there's going to be another disagreement.
We'll have to see. I'm confident I can.
Well, I'm confident that I can sway you. You're confident.
That's good news. That's good news.
Yeah, I'm confident that I can sway you. Am I confident? I don't know. I don't know if I'm confident, but I do think that you will be able to put up a cohesive argument, and I will be able to put up a cohesive argument, and people are saying, what the hell are they talking about? Well, let me write up a banner then. Let me write up a banner and tell people what I'm talking about. Friday. Okay, so we're doing a Friday show, folks. We're doing it. Oh yeah, well let's give the agenda what's going on in the next week or so. On Friday, let me write this down. Friday, we're doing. How would you describe that show then?
Well, we're kind of doing a historical review.
Historical. Looking at the historical fight. I'm going to write that. Friday, looking at a historical fight. So we're going to be looking at a historical fight. I don't know if we're going to divulge who we're looking at. I don't know if we want to divulge that, but it is a historical fight, historical figure, a figure you will all know. Anybody who knows the word boxing will know the guy we're looking at. And it's two quick fights. So we're going to be looking at two historical figures, at least two, for even people who only know boxing on a surface level. Just watch.
I don't know how familiar everybody will be with one of the guys.
There's three guys involved, and
They'll be
familiar with two of them.
I think our audience will be, but it's surprising how many people aren't really truly familiar with her.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. But either way,
we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that. That's on Friday. Friday, we're looking at a historical fight. That's ad banner. And can you see that? No? Click on it. Friday, we're looking at an historical fight. That's on Boxing Talk with Raphie on Friday. That's going to start at 9 p.m. again. So that's on Friday. On Monday, people still here. There's lots of people still here. On Monday, I had word with AJbxng. Some call him El Nomas because of what happened on Monday. El Nomas. Another term coined by John Dealey, turning out to be a proper little asset around these parts. That's a John Dealey original.
Are you doing the Jeff A on purpose to wind him up? Or?
Sorry, what's the question?
It's all right. I know Jalik pointed this out. J in Spanish is a.
Oh, sorry. No. My mistake.
I saw a few people calling him El Jaffa Cake as well.
Yeah. No, it's my mistake. It was unintentional. El Jefe. My bad. El Jefe. And actually, for the record, El Jefe is only a young guy. I think 20, 21.
He is young.
He's just a young lad.
One of his favorite questions is, how long have you been watching boxing? It's a question he asked me on a different platform.
Did he call you a casual?
Yeah. He's called me a casual on numerous occasions. But I'm cool with that because I think in the UK it's got a different meaning.
It's got a different meaning to us, to us who
particularly
really
our generation.
know what our generation knows what a casual is, and that's a man about town, that's a lad about town. That's what we were. Yeah, so cool. But he's just a young lad. It's cheeky lad, yes. The cheeky lad, but still he's just a young lad. And really and truly, just for the record, there is zero hate from me to El Jefe. Zero. To me, he's just a young lad. Cheeky lad, yes. But he's just a young lad trying to think. And in years to come, who knows where he will be when he gets a little bit calmer, sorts it out a little bit. But, he's just a young lad. And, I'm happy to give him the airtime. I'm happy to him to come over here. People want to hear him. He's a controversial character. He's got a lot going for him. And so, yeah, no hate to El Jefe. As a matter of fact, I find him quite amusing, which you may have gathered. Okay, so that's Friday's show. Looking at historical fight. Actually, it's two quick ones, but they're very historical, so you should know. You need to know. Great Podcast is their Facebook page. No, there isn't a Facebook page, but there is a Twitter page, and the Twitter link is in the description box. Let me just check. That's a factual. Let me check it's factual. Yep, I see it right there. Twitter. It's right there. The Twitter link is right there. Go ahead and follow me. We want to get those Twitter numbers up. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, so big shout out to Rick. Very entertaining. It's gone over real well over here because we keep it the truth. We agree, we disagree, but we managed to do that with a degree of style and panache, I like to think. Okay, but I really want to touch on this. This story here. Just to glide us in nicely. Okay, where's the story gone? Where is the story gone? Is this fate? If I can't find this story, then that means it was fate that disappeared. I'm going to take that as fate that it disappeared, but I really actually want to find the story, but I'm just a bit surprised right now. I could have swore that it was right in front of me, and now it's not. I want to go along this thing here. I find that very surprising. I'm very surprised what happened. I don't know what happened, but I can retrieve it. I can retrieve it. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's just there. You use the same pictures in another article. Let me share the screen. This is the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, bro. I just wanted to share this story. I just wanted to touch on this story. My frames are all over the place. Okay, let's go. Let's share this screen. I like the story. I want to talk about this briefly. Boom, boom, boom. I should be sharing right now, and let me use the trick that I found out. James, I don't know where you're at. I hope you're okay in this coronavirus environment. I ain't heard from James. James, just let us know you're okay. Let us know you're okay. We're concerned. Okay, so Joshua says, these are Joshua's words, Tyson Fury annihilated Deontay Wilder, exposed him, pulled his pants down, and spanked his bare bottom. Okay, so Anthony Joshua was not over. First of all, let me look how long this damn thing is, because I don't want to be reading for a long time. Okay, so Anthony Joshua was not overly surprised with what Tyson Fury was able to do to Deontay Wilder in their February 22nd, their February 22nd match. Okay, fight. Okay, so Fury dropped Wilder twice and stopped him in the 7th round to capture the WBC heavyweight title at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Wilder and Fury had fought to a controversial 12-round split draw in the first meeting in December 2018. And there we see Deontay Wilder acting as if he's testing out a new mattress. Okay, let that sink in. All right, so Fury and Wilder are now slated to collide in a trilogy fight potentially in October. Joshua, who holds the WBA, IBF, IBO, WBO world titles, says he knew there was a possibility that Fury would dominate in the rematch with Wilder. Okay, I believed, past tense, Fury could potentially do what he did. I just felt like Deontay Wilder. Is a formidable ex-champion and has had a chance to come back. But I just knew that when he gets to the top level, it will be difficult. This is very poorly written. It's making me look like I'm damn illiterate. I just knew that when he got to the top level, it would be difficult, because it's one thing getting there, it's another thing staying there. We've seen in some of his fights, it's been difficult for him, and then he lands that punch, and he's been victorious. But I always believe that when you go to war, you can't have one weapon in your arsenal. Damn, I like that line. I always believe that when you go to war, you can't have, you can't have just one weapon in your arsenal. And for him, that was the right hand. Okay, once that was taken away from him, which is what Tyson Fury did, I'm not going to go into tactics, but he was able to annihilate Deontay Wilder and expose him for some of his weaknesses. Damn, annihilation. Gotta highlight that. He was able to annihilate him and expose some of his weaknesses. Tyson Fury did a great job tactically, and I'm looking forward to their trilogy fight. Looking forward. Well, he's basically saying he's looking forward to another annihilation of Deontay Wilder. Joshua hopes to face Fury in a full unification bout within the next 12 months. But before he can get there, he has to make his mandatory defense against Kubrat Pulev, and that fight has been tentatively targeted for some time in July. Damn, that was rough reading. Okay, let me stop sharing that and head back over into the main chat area and bring this up. And okay, let's chop this up before we send everyone off to their beds. Okay, so annihilation. Once you take away the right hand, and Joshua didn't want to expand on that too much. He didn't want to go in too deep, didn't want to give it away. But once you take away the right hand, Deontay Wilder was all at sea. I've read another article. Should I even say that now, or should I just say that for the specific video? There is a specific video. You know what? Forget it. We're gonna double dip. We're gonna double dip on this one. We're gonna double dip. So if I come out of that, I'll get to you in a second, John. If I come out of that, I'm not even gonna go to the article itself. Oh yeah. Well, there it is. It's right there. So why would not I go into it? It's right there. So it's a double dipper. It's a double header. Let me share this as well. We can just put the two of them into one. Share that and share this story. Let's get this up in size. So it's a double header. Same people involved, same players, just a different element of the story. Okay. So Deontay, what the hell happened there? Get out of here. What the hell? I accidentally clicked something and that just took over my screen. And now it's sent me back, and now I got to find that story again. Let me see. It should be here. Wilder White said. Okay, so anyway, while I'm looking for the story, I'll crack on with it because I effectively know what I'm talking about. I know what the headline read. And basically the headline, while I'm looking for it, I'll talk about it. Basically, the headline is that Deontay Wilder, there it is, I found it again. Deontay Wilder had surgery. had surgery on his left bicep after his loss to Tyson Fury. So it's a doubleheader. So Deontay Wilder underwent another arm surgery, this time to repair his left bicep. Bi means two, so they're right to say biceps. Okay. Following his loss to Tyson Fury on February 22nd. Okay, Wilder revealed the procedure during the newest episode of the PBC podcast, which debuted on Wednesday. Today? Wednesday today? Okay, so it's just debuted. The former WBC heavyweight champion didn't specify when he had the surgery, but he noted that he will be able to work out and spar by the middle to the end of May. Hold on, when were they supposed to fight? They were supposed to be fighting in June, and he's having the operation in May, June. So what the hell are they talking about? So does this mean that the fight would have been postponed anyway? Come to that in a second. That's interesting. The surgery shouldn't prohibit Wilder from facing Fury a third time later this year. They were supposed to meet again in July 18. Oh, yeah, July. But Fury Wilder 3 has been postponed till at least October the 3rd due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Wilder's surgery probably would have caused a postponement. Probably would have caused a postponement even if the coronavirus... Oh, this is breaking news. Even if the coronavirus hadn't temporarily shut down the boxing business. This is breaking news. Damn. This man is injury prone. If he was a horse, damn, they would took him to the back of the shed. What else is he going to say? Breaking news, folks. Recovery is going well. Wilder told, hold on, he's supposed to go to Africa, so that would have put paid to his African visit as well. I don't know what the hell's going on. Plenty of news and revelations going on today. Recovery is going well. I'm in physical therapy. I end up injuring. What? I'm in physical therapy. I ended up injuring it during my last fight. Somewhere up in there. Okay. But everything's going great with it. You know, that's another thing. I'm just focusing on recovery. Get myself back to full health and getting ready to come back. Hopefully this corona stuff will be out of the way and we can get back into camp and get ready to go again sometime around the end of the year. The 34-year-old Wilder is at least a month away from resuming some sort of training. I can't work out right now. I'm really looking forward to getting back to training. Once I get healed up with my arm, I'm looking forward to just working out, being able to do things that I love to do. Well, you can still do lower body. You can still skip. You can still do lunges and whatnot. You can still do foot drills. Yeah, you can still practice your foot movement. Oh, OMG. Wilder has previously had numerous injuries on his right arm and hand, including a procedure in 2016 to repair a torn right bicep. The Tuscaloosa, Alabama native suffered that injury during his technical knockout victory over Chris Arreola in 2016. Wilder underwent another surgery on his fractured right arm before he began this training camp for his first fight with Fury, a controversial split draw. We know about that, 2018 December. An aggressive physical Fury overwhelmed Wilder during their rematch 7 weeks ago at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas. What else is there? Right now, I've just been sitting back, getting taken care of, Wilder said, which is not a bad position either, you know? Getting taken care of. All my meals are being prepared specially for me and brought to me. There's a lot of catering right now. You know, between me and my fiance and all the kids that I've got around me, you know, it's been beautiful, man. Like I said, it's nothing I can complain about at the moment in time. I know we are all in the world going through something together. And so that's a double header. First thing was Joshua speaking, saying that Deontay Wilder was annihilated. And the second part is that he's had yet another surgery. John D. Lee.
Well, I think they've tried to sensationalize a little bit of what AJ said.
Okay.
But in all fairness, I don't know how I should describe Wilder's performance against Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled to give Wilder a round. The blueprint is definitely out there.
Hold on. Did he actually win a round? Did Wilder win a round?
Some people have tried to argue that he's won a round. I think they've tried to say he won the first round, but I don't see it.
He didn't win a round. He didn't win a round.
In my opinion, he lost every round. And I think you described it as Fury taking him to school.
Yep.
And I described it as Fury throwing him off the bus without it stopping.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the blueprint is out there and has to beat Wilder, and I think that's just plain for everybody to see. It's a bit uncharacteristic of AJ to come out and comment like this.
Very uncharacteristic.
Potentially, they just need a bit of headlines to keep his name out there because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
As for this injury talk, I don't know if you've seen the other article that's been out there about what Wilder's been talking about.
No.
Wilder's come out and said that he doesn't recognize Fury as a real champion.
Oh, I glimpsed that. I glimpsed the headline.
Now, in the interesting point about that article is he says there were a lot of things going on that nobody knew about, that he can't comment on, that you just don't know. Fury knows I wasn't the real Wilder, all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next breath, we're hearing about this surgery, which we heard nothing about when they announced the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
They announced an immediate rematch for, I think, originally for July.
That's right, July 18th, I think.
Yeah. Now, if you've torn your bicep, there's a visual. It's a very visual injury. Your bicep pops right up to the top of your arm.
Depends on where it's torn.
Okay, but often it does.
Oftentimes it tears.
I would definitely argue that even if the visual wasn't there, the pain would mean that you wouldn't be talking about a rematch within months.
Yeah.
So we've heard this from Wilder a lot. He claimed he broke his arm in training before the last Fury fight. Every time there's a poor performance, there's some significant injury.
Yeah.
And we've got to sell a fight, or they've got to sell a fight, which on paper, it looks like Wilder has no chance. In the article, where he's saying he doesn't recognise Fury as a champion, he's tried to claim it's 1-1. And that the referee shouldn't have allowed Fury to continue for safety reasons and gave him a long count. There's another platform who's put it out on numerous occasions, a stopwatch next to the Fury count.
Yeah.
And from going down to getting up is less than 10 seconds. Now, it's quite common in boxing for you to get more than 10 seconds for two reasons. First of all, the referee has to take the other fighter to neutral corner.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's human counting. It's not a clock. So there's variation there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a legitimate count. I mean, I think there's an argument you could say that if that had been in the UK, potentially they would have counted him out. But the counter argument is when he gets up, he backs Wilder up and wins a round.
Yeah.
So Wilder can't really claim that it's 1-1. It's a draw and a win to Fury.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing everything they can to sell the fight, possibly because of what Rick said. They know he's done, and they're just trying to cash him out.
Yeah.
I have no proof that this operation is a lie, but I'm surprised that you could tear a bicep in a fight and then agree for immediate rematch in a short space of time when you did have up to October.
Yeah.
If there's a genuine I mean, there's times when they operate on really tiny little niggles.
Yeah.
But I'm just skeptical.
Yeah. It's kind of it's another injury. It's like what the hell's going on? Another injury. But what I will say, I hate to say it, but I got to keep it $100 all the time, every time. What I will say is that at the end of the fight, and I think we're going to come up to it, when Deontay Wilder puts his arms, he's remonstrating and he's balancing himself. In a few seconds from now, I thought at the time, hold on, one of them biceps looks funny. I thought one of them biceps looked funny. Now, that doesn't mean that he had an injury. That doesn't mean he had an injury. That doesn't mean he had a bicep tear. But I remember thinking at the time, we're going to see it shortly, when he rested both arms on the ropes. We're going to see it in a matter of seconds. I better get ready to freeze frame. I thought, is that it? Is that the left bicep? It looks like it's pulled up a bit.
That's the left arm.
Or is he just, or his biceps just like that?
The caption's difficult to judge it because I want to see the bottom half. Because there, if you just go back a little bit to that last bit, you get to see his arm cocked, his left arm cocked, and it didn't look like the bicep had travelled up towards the top of his arm to me.
Okay, no, it's not up to the top of his arm, but it looked a bit shorter to me. It looked a bit shorter, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. In a few seconds.
A lot of people get a variation in.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you can't judge it.
The bicep.
You can't. It's hard to judge because people have different insertions. So
that's his right arm there. He has got
right arm. That's his right arm.
I mean, I wouldn't describe that as a short insertion.
No, that's not a short insertion. That's a
so
long.
Naturally, you could argue he probably doesn't have a short insertion. So we need a clear look at the left.
Yeah, it's a long insertion. What we're saying, folks, is that the bicep is long. It's a long bicep.
If people don't know what we're talking about, some people can flex their bicep and get one finger in between the bicep and their arm. Some people can get two. Some people can't get a finger in.
Yeah, it's the space. It's the space between the bicep and the bend and the elbow, the front of the elbow, and that's what we're looking for. Let me move it on a little. Oh, almost there. And gone too far. Let's not get it twisted, folks. I'm not saying that the injury is legit. I'm just saying that when he at the time when I watched the fight, actually at the time, and he rested both arms on the ring apron, on the ring top rope, I thought one of his biceps looked funny. We're gonna see very shortly. Not to say that it is. It could have just looked funny just generally. But I did recall.
Oh, there was a image of it there of his bicep. I couldn't.
Yeah, we're gonna see when he puts his arms on the. We're gonna see when he puts his arms on the rope what I saw, or maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw. But we're gonna see what I thought I saw when he puts his arm on the rope. One of the bicep looked funny to me. Doesn't mean there was an injury. Doesn't mean there what. Is that the left? That looked weird. It looked weird to me. It looked weird. It looks bunched up. The bicep looks bunched up. Let me take it back a fraction. Not to say it's an injury, not to say it isn't. I'm just saying I remember thinking at the time that his bicep looks weird. There. Looks weird. Looks bunched up.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be his brachialis.
Yeah.
It could be one of those two.
To me, let me just use the cursor here. To me,
brachialis, where
the outside here,
that can form like a ball depending on how well it develops at his contact.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is this here, right here. I thought at the time that the bicep looked weird. Never said nout. But when
And
they said
the other side arm is a very normal,
very long,
long insertion.
very long insertion. And this, folks, right here, it looks like it's balled up to me. But let's continue. I think we got another couple of seconds. So when I read that he had a bicep injury, I was not entirely surprised. Let's just. There it is. To me, that is a bicep injury, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know if you can see what I can see.
I think I can see what you can see. Can you remove the comment off there?
Hold on. Okay, my bad. Hold on. Need to stop sharing for a second. Let me bring the comment down. Oh, there's still people still here. I thought it was just me and you, John. There's people still here.
Really getting into his bicep. The other thing with the bicep tear, though, Raphie, if he's got an old one.
Yeah.
So I tore my left lat years ago. There's a big dent at the top. It functions fine now.
I was going to say that because I was going to bring that up, but that's for the Friday show. That's for the Friday show because there's a leg issue in one of the boxers in one of the fight.
Raphie, you're preempting this.
And, I ain't going to give it away. I ain't going to give it away. Do you see it clearer? Do you see what I see? That's weird.
I can see his arm. The only thing that I would say is there's a bit of a funny rotation on his forearm.
Hold on a second. Let me just make this.
I can see the insertion that I can see.
I'm going to come back to it in a second. I just need to take the banner down so you can see even clearer. The banner's up there. It's blocking your view a little bit.
If you look at it, he's externally rotating his forearm as well, which that can stretch out the bicep a bit.
That can pull it in. Which arm are you talking about?
Here. Can you can't see my cursor, can you? So the arm underneath Mark Breland.
Yeah, the left arm, this arm.
Yeah, the arm we're looking at.
Yeah.
Forearm does look to be slightly externally rotated as well. So I can see the insertion at the elbow point.
Yeah.
And the top does look a bit bulgy.
Looks like bulgy. Looks like a tennis ball there. That's abnormal to me, but carry on.
It does look like there's a potential for injury there. But I could explain. I can see the bottom of the insertion as well in the right place.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So it could just be the external rotation is making it pop out a bit.
Yeah, but I think that would be more.
It could
more
be
of
both.
the bicep. I think it would be more of the bicep. It wouldn't just be the top bit.
I think there's a potential that that's a fresh injury. Could be an old injury that's giving him a funny shaped bicep. I'd have to have a look at it in more detail because if you ever tear a muscle, often the muscle can function.
Yeah.
But it's misshapen.
Yes.
A great example of that's Dorian Yates.
Yes. Dorian Yates, bodybuilder from Birmingham, where we come from. The Olympian, 6-time Olympian, Mr. Olympia. Very proud of him around these parts. So you've heard
some strong arguments. He got the benefit of the judging when he had torn muscles that messed up his.
To me, it's undisputable. It's undisputable. There's two Olympians that he should not have won, but I wasn't mad at it. I mean, his opponents would be extremely peed off.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of Olympia winners have had the rub of the green when they shouldn't. Especially the multiple winners.
He's not the only one, is what you're saying.
No. Yeah, I mean, Arnold and Ronnie.
Yeah, that's true. Arnold, particularly in '81 when he came back, I think he was.
I think Ronnie's last one was pretty bad as well. I mean, the belly was.
Ronnie was off a few times. To me, ladies and gentlemen, however, it's really weird because some people might think I'm making this up, but I remember at the time looking at his arms and saying his biceps look weird.
Raphie does analyze things like this.
I do.
If anyone listens back to when Joshua Ruiz first fight, Raphie started talking about Joshua looking wrong from pretty much the get-go.
Yes, 100%. The evidence is there, folks. You can go back. I've got a playlist with all the live shows. All you need to do is scroll through, and some of them are even time-stamped. I looked at I remember I noticed a lot of stuff. I thought, hey, his biceps look weird. And look at that right there. It's like a tennis ball up there.
It does look peculiar.
It looks odd.
I'd want to see a few more images just to get a bit more of a baseline, because
of course
you can
look. Hey, look at that. But I hear what you're saying. You need to see more.
I can see what you're talking about, Raphie. I mean, it's definitely.
It just stuck out to me.
It's something that it could be a genuine injury.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself, though, is worrying. I mean, if he gets injured every single time he fights,
every time,
then what's going to happen next time?
Every time.
But,
yeah.
I mean, to me as well, looking there though, that could actually be the split, because as you pointed out rightly, the bicep is two muscles, and there's a line that runs down the bicep, and it's more prominent at the top.
Yes.
And I can see that dent there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a few things that could be.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly wouldn't rule out injury.
No, I think it's a genuine one, only because at the very end of the fight, and remember, this is one of the few fights that I've watched back multiple times. Well, I haven't watched back multiple times, but I've been doing videos
I've only watched it 3 times.
Yeah, I've been doing videos about it. There's certain places I've probably watched this fight back more because I've been editing and stuff, and I've been doing videos on it, and I've probably watched this fight back more than I've watched any other fight in recent times, just because it's been such a hot button topic, and just because of the way Fury did what he did. So even though I'm not Tyson Fury's biggest fan, I do totally appreciate what he did on February 22nd. He did a fantastic job. And
what is it? Just out of interest, Raphie, what is it you don't like about Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, I think that he didn't do what Joshua did. He didn't do what Joshua did. He didn't stay in the fire. He didn't just he won and then went away. That's what I don't like about. That's what I don't like about Fury. He won.
Failure to ever be a proper champion and defend his titles.
Stick around, defend it, grit it through. Don't take steroids. Grit it through. Just grit. The grit was missing.
that steroid offense is never going to get forgiven, is it, Raphie?
Don't take.
He's not there with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, I'm calming down off the Sugar Ray Leonard thing. I've partially.
Was it cathartic what we did last week?
It was cathartic. It was a cathartic exercise when we looked at the Shiz Biz. I just looked down at my phone. I saw Shiz Biz, and I said Shiz Biz. Shiz Biz. I'm sure there's a point in the fight where he grabbed his bicep. Yep. I hate to seem like I'm defending Deontay Wilder.
It's not really a defense, though.
I'm not defending him. I'm not defending Deontay.
It's a worrying sign.
I just think he's genuinely injured his bicep. And the reason I think it's genuine is because I remember at the end of the fight, he put his arms up just like he's doing now. Let me take it through. There might be a better angle. And I looked at him, and the first thing I said is, his biceps look weird. They don't match. This one here, it's just too long. It's weird. It's misshapen. It's not. Don't look like this one. It's misshapen. This is weird. And I don't think it's and there you go.
That's much more obvious. That looks like there's something popped a bit there.
There you go again. Don't look right. And I remember at the end of the fight thinking, hey,
because he's got long insertions as well.
He does. Shiz Biz up in the building. DJ Georgie Porgy up in the building. We're still going because I wanted to talk about this, and it's a good thing I remembered that there was two.
I mean, if I still don't understand why you're agreeing to a rematch.
Mad. Yeah, mad.
Because we've broken down what he needs to do. And I was a little bit less ambitious than you. I only wanted to teach him basic footwork and a jab.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm way more ambitious than that. Way more ambitious.
You're asking for a lot from him, which,
I'm asking for a lot, but the thing is that he's devolved. My argument is he has devolved as a fighter. He's got worse. He's got worse than his Olympic days. I don't
know if I agree.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But when he was in his Olympic days, well, what I'm saying is when he was in his Olympic days, he had more variety of work. He may have honed his work and got better. Yeah, but he had, what I'm saying is that in his Olympic days, he had more variety in his work. And what I'm saying is that I believe his his repertoire, his palette, the colors that he uses, they have shrunk, diminished in size.
That's true. I mean, we've seen that.
He's working now on just looking to land the right. So his palette, his repertoire has shrunken, is what I'm saying.
We've seen that in his professional career.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been times where he's tried to throw uppercuts and left hooks and use a jab. And that has taken a step back.
Yes. Yeah.
But for me, with the amount of time that you've got, I think a good jab, good footwork, and a sensible guard that you can use to block hooks as well as protect your chin.
Yeah.
Is a very straightforward, achievable plan.
Yes.
That could then get some results.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If his power is what it's supposed to be.
If well, it's always the delivery systems. A lot of things depend on the delivery system. If you got a great delivery system, then you can make things happen. His delivery system, I think the delivery system though depends on footwork. And he just ain't good at it. The counter argument is, well, he's good enough to knock out 40 people. But they were low caliber in the main. They were low caliber people. They were overmatched. So all these knockouts, it don't count for naught. I have to echo what Anthony Joshua says, but we're not really echoing that. He's echoing us. We've been saying it over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio for a while. That
what I struggle with, and this was something that I felt Jalik was trying to rely on far too much when he was talking about how Wilder beats Mike Tyson the other day.
Yeah.
This idea that Wilder's power's proven.
No.
So he's fought, arguably, and I think it's a bit generous, he's fought 3 top 10 heavyweights. And he's only knocked out one of them. And the knockout, I think it's a bit of a stretch to class Luis Ortiz as a top 10 heavyweight.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Currently, and post his win, Wilder's win against him. When he did knock Ortiz out at that time, Ortiz was quite clearly gassed.
Yeah.
So you kind of got this argument that people who were heavy-handed punchers, yes, they carry their power into the later rounds, but most of the time, Wilder's had to wait till the later rounds for his opponents to tire, so that they can be knocked over, and that's a tactic that other fighters who aren't known to be power punchers have used in the past.
Yeah. So then
we might be talking about one of them on Friday.
Well, don't disrespect the Don.
Raphie, come on. There's no argument to put forward that he's a power puncher.
No, he's not a power puncher.
That's my only point.
Okay, so we're not even going to go much further because it's been a great show, in my estimation. Great response, which I knew would happen. Having Rick Glaser on. Boxing Talk with Raphie 115. The fight's just got waved off. The fight has just got waved off. Tripping over my own tongue. We're gonna see
like Wilder's footwork.
Wilder, sorry, what are you talking about?
Well, you said you were tripping over your tongue.
Like Wilder's footwork. There's the arm. There is the arm. I don't know. I did something. Oh, there we go. The top came down and then it's come back up. I just want to replay this for one more time. One more time. We're going to see him walking back to his corner, and we see the arm for which I believe is injured. Does it look weird to me? Now Now let's see him go back. We're looking at the left arm, I believe. If it turns out it was the right arm, then this is going to be a proper malarkey.
No. I'm sure you said the article said left arm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
And he's previously had his right arm allegedly operated on. But again, the right arm looks fairly normal, which is unusual if you've had a bicep tear.
Yeah. Was it the bicep in the right? Yeah, they did say that.
That right arm's supposed to have been broken, torn biceps.
He got Mike Tyson's tiger bit him.
Yeah. So against Chris Arreola, I think is where he's claimed that he tore his biceps.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also said that he's broken his right arm in the run-up to the Fury fight.
Well, you know something? I think we're going to bring it to a close right there. The timing is perfect because this injury thing also travels over to what is going to be our talk, our discussion on Friday. I've had it in my mind, and then all of a sudden about I've got some interesting thoughts, and which I will be able to share pictorially on Friday. So people, don't miss Friday. Don't miss Friday, and don't forget about the video I dropped today, which has not proved very popular, but it should be bloody popular. I mean, it's talking about the fastest hands in the game. I can't believe that.
I didn't see that pop up today, Raphie. But
say that again.
I didn't see it pop up, but
YouTube has been acting like very, very weird. Very, very weird.
I've been watching a lot of tape though. I've been watching a lot of tape lately.
YouTube has been acting very weird. The last live show, which was 114 Boxing Talk with Raphie 114, featuring none other than El Jefe, that didn't process. You see, after a live show, because it's a live show, because it's hours worth of stuff, I don't know how long I've been going. It's now midnight. We started about about just after 9, 5 past 9. So we're coming up to like 3 hours now. I don't tend to do 3-hour shows anymore. I try to condense them into around 2-hour shows, but yeah. So that wasn't even 3 hours. That was 2 hours 26 minutes. That show, Boxing Talk with Raphie 114, was 2 hours 26 minutes, and there's always a delay when you do a live. The longer the live, the longer the delay in terms of how long YouTube takes to process it. So your normal live, you could do a live and it's not available. You can't see it again until anybody who hasn't seen it, it's not going to be visible to them for about an hour, sometimes 2 hours. If it's something crazy, it's 3 hours. I went to bed and woke up in the morning, and that video was still not processed. There's an exceptional and unprecedented load on portals, platforms like YouTube and Facebook. So every time I load up, about to do a live, there's just a little reminder sticker saying, just to remind you, there is an unprecedented usage of platforms like YouTube and Facebook. So, okay, I understood it would take a bit longer to process, but this thing must have taken a good 8 hours to load up. 8 hours, if not more, the live show on Monday. So fortunately, after a live show, I'm doing different things. I'm looking at ideas. I'm looking at video. I'm thinking about how I'm going to approach the next video, what the video after that, etc. So I'm up for a good hour minimum after that. And it showed no signs of loading. And it was a hot topic, so I thought I had a brainwave, and it was a good idea. I thought in the community, by the way, people, always be mindful, always check the community page, because there's information there on future projects, whatever. So always go, when you click onto the channel, just click onto the community page. I have posts there, which some people probably don't know about. So I went to the community page and I put in another post just saying, the show has just been done, and here is the link. And it was an act of, don't want to say it, but it was an act of genius, because so long as you have the link, you can watch the show. But when it's being processed, it disappears. So if it's not there, then you don't have the link. So there's nothing you can do. If you've watched it already, then you can go back in your history and rewatch it. But people who haven't seen it while it's in the processing stage, they don't see it. It doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do in future going forward, and I'll do it with this one as well, because obviously people in different time zones. What I'm going to do with each show in future is I'm going to make a post on the community page with the link included, the link of the show. So while it's being processed, if YouTube takes 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours to process this show or the next live, it don't matter, because people will know. Hopefully I'll preach the good word. Always go to my community page. Always checking at the community page to see what's going down. And after a live, if you can't see, don't worry. You go to the community page and there'll be the latest post will most likely include a link to the live that has just happened. That's going to be religious now. That's going to be the new way. It's new doctrine. So don't matter how long YouTube takes to fully process it, you'll still have the link so you can watch it. Now, all the comments will not be loaded. So you won't be able to see the comment section, the scrolling comment section, because it's not fully processed. But you will be able to watch everything else will be there. You'll be able to watch the show. You'll be able to make a comment in the permanent comment section below the video. So that's the new principle. So when YouTube takes 8 hours, 10 hours to upload a live show, it won't matter. You just go to the community page and boom, it's up. So I say that because you just mentioned, John, you haven't seen the fastest hands video, which is my last video. And I think once again, it's probably YouTube unprecedented usage. People just haven't seen it for whatever reason. But yes. We had Rick Glaser on. Come to the end of the show now. We had Rick Glaser on. It was a privilege to have him on. A man who, he fits in with the Raphael Dawkins combat radio ethos. Just tell it like it is. Tell it like you see it. Tell it like you see it, John.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll be doing that on Friday. We'll be doing it on Friday. I don't even want to talk about it right now.
No.
John's going to be insulting one of my favorite fighters. There's
not going to be any insulting going on.
Let's leave it there. Because
there'll be no insulting.
Get me riled up already, and it's only Wednesday.
Raphie, there isn't going to be any insulting. It's just going to be strictly beats.
Oh dear! I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna take some medication. I'm gonna take a sedative. Pre-show. Oh my gosh!
I'm already touching nerves. I've already been told off once. I don't think people noticed.
I don't think I noticed. I don't know.
You said don't disrespect the Don.
Oh damn! Disrespecting the Don.
You did say that, and then I actually got you around to my way of thinking.
Never go against the Don. Never go against the Don. But John Dealey on this Friday is going to be going up against the Don, and I'll have to take a sedative, and I'll have to take it. And I'll have that Rigsby smile. When Rigsby got stuck in it, pretended he was being hypnotized, and Miss Jones stuck a hat pin up Rigsby's in Rigsby's and Rigsby had to pretend that he was being hypnotized, so he couldn't show any emotion. He's just there like,
we're giving the people TV classics, everything. We've had Delbert Wilkins, Rising Damp, all sorts.
Classic show. So what? There's people still here, John. I don't know what's going on. It's past everybody's bedtime. What's going on? Let's just cover the last few posts. I missed this one. Where is it? He ripped his bicep putting on his 40-pound suit. Damn.
I would hope his biceps can cope with 40 pounds.
Well, you never know with Deontay. Very fragile, apparently.
Made of glass.
Very fragile. Made of glass. I walked my dog, got back, chat still going. Marathon. 3 hours, 3 hours. It was standard back in the day when I first started this thing. I just thought, hold on a second, hold on. Time is precious. Can't be doing 3 hour shows when I could make it into a 2 hour show or a 2.5 hour show. So I just tried to condense everything. Didn't think
in those days, I used to promise myself I was getting off early.
I felt bad for John sometimes because I know he gets up early to get his early training session in. And
well, it's all a bit over the shop at the moment, Raph.
Yeah, things are different, mate. I'm feeling like a big dosser. Used to being way more active than this. It's alien to me.
John's gym's actually quite adequately equipped now.
It's what?
My gym in my house.
Oh, I thought you was leaking out. There was a gym nearby that was still open. I thought.
Yeah, it's in my house.
In your house. It's in the house. It's in the house.
We've got a lot of equipment going on there.
I remember throwing out a lot of little bits and pieces. I won't need this trampoline anymore. I won't, because I had a mini trampoline, and it's great for just skipping and just just shadow boxing, and it was big enough that you could jink around a bit.
Yeah, you could get loose on that.
Yeah, I lobbed it out, didn't I? I wish I had it now. Lobbed it out. I've lobbed out lots of things over the years that I wish that I didn't. Just all in the interest of keeping things nice and spacious. I love space, man. But anyway, let's just get through these last things. I didn't think we were going to be on for so long, but I definitely want to touch on the Deontay Wilder thing, the two stories, and we did so very more than adequately. It does look swollen. It does look swollen, referring to the arm of Wilder. I just realized that's a bulldog. I never realized it was a bulldog before. Very good, very good. Okay, yeah. What is this now? What's next? What is it? Shiz Biz. I'm sure there's a point in the fight where he grabbed his bicep. Yeah, I never saw that, but I did register. It's very clear in my mind that he had a bicep. That his bicep looked weird to me, and it's the first time just before I came on, I saw the headline, didn't read it, but I thought, yeah, I saw it at the end of the fight. Maybe. Not proof. It's not proof. I haven't shown you proof. I'm just showing you what I saw at the time. It's not conclusive proof. It's merely what I saw, which suggests to me that it might be true. Thumbs up, gang. We in here. Georgie Porgy. Yes. Much appreciated. Georgie always coming over to show some support. BH, submit this chat to the Guinness Book for the longest chat in boxing history. Yo, bro, there's people who routinely used to go 6 hours. And routinely, I think I've got a 6 hour. I think I got a 6 hour show. I think it was the Joshua fight? I've got a 6 hour one as well. But
standard. Done a few lives. The one, sure, after Pricey beat Dave Allen, that went on for a long time afterward.
Got a few big ones, but time is precious. I thought to myself, no, I can't be doing this. I can't be doing these super long lives. We can just fit everything in a shorter time. I prefer that way. But this was, I never thought you'd go 3 hours, but we did have to talk about this Deontay Wilder thing. Plus, I needed a chance to come down, just glide down to a nice, gentle landing. Yeah, don't forget Lockdown live on Fridays. Live on Friday, guys. Don't forget Lockdown. Lockdown.
Coronavirus lockdown, I think he's talking
about. Yeah. Or Lock It Down that we're doing the show on Friday. Yeah, either way, you're right. Big up Raphie, John with no H. And the chat. Stay safe 100%. Okay, so it's been a great show. It's great when you get somebody on that you wanted to get on for a while. I haven't spoke about it, to say speak it, believe it, receive it. But I just kept it under my hat. And yeah, when you get a target, you say, I want that guy. And you get that guy on your show, and that guy is a truth teller, then damn. What more can you ask for? I'm buzzing, very happy that I got the guy that I wanted to get on the show. And, he just did what I expected him to do. Just say what he feels. Do I disagree? Do I agree with everything he says? Nope. But I agree with the most of it. Certainly what he's talking about in the field of boxing. The only thing I disagreed with is a couple of the picks We're not going to get into that now because we're supposed to be finishing. That's the problem around here. There's so many interesting topics that pop up. You could keep on going and going and going. We're not going to do that. We got lives to live, even in the Corona COVID-19 era. Still got things to do. I got things to do. You got things to do. John got things to do. But yeah, John, just wrap it up. Wrap up the show, my friend. Wrap up your thoughts, your feelings, your observations.
I thought that was a fantastic guest, Raphie.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it today, and people should check it out.
Yeah,
tomorrow. Give him a good listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows what he's talking about.
He bloody well does. He damn well does.
If you wanted to go up head to head with him on history, you need to make sure you bring in all your facts with you that day. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. On the right topic, I'd take him on. I'm not taking him on Kawasaki Roy Jones. I see his argument.
Yeah, I see the argument, but we're not going to get into that.
But I'm definitely not doing that now. But taking Rick on, you need to be on your Sunday best behavior for that one.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a big ask. I'm not ready for that, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm ready for that. Rick knows his stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, John Daly, it's been a great one. I'm very, very happy with our guest. Very, very happy with him. And Friday, looking forward to that one as well. I'll take a sedative. I'll be okay.
I'm worried about you, Raphie.
No, I'll be okay. I'm going to take a sedative. I may have a glass of rum. And
But it is Friday after all.
Say that again. Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday.
After all.
I'm not going dancing this Friday. So we're gonna be dancing right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio on the Friday, 2 days away, 1 day away, whatever, 36 hours away, whatever it is. 36, probably more closer to 44 hours away, probably. Rough guess, rough estimate, 3 hours after the hour of 9. So yes, John D. Lee, it's been a great show. I'm very, very happy with our guest. Very, very happy. It's a COVID-19 era. Nothing's happening in boxing in terms of events, but there's still lots to talk about. And we proved that. We proved that here today. And remember, next week, we're joined by Rick again next week. I don't know, Rick might, I'll just send him a link anyway on Friday. He might just jump in on this thing. He might just jump in with us on this thing on Friday. But anyway, I don't want to talk. I don't want to spill no beans. I haven't asked him. Don't want to spill no beans. But Rick, if you're still listening, mate, that's what we say over here. And you probably already know. Yeah, man, I'm going to send you a link for the Friday show. Maybe if you want to jump, that's 3 people. That could be hellish. Anyway, I'm not going to expand on that. Yes. So John D. Lee.
I think you're trying to find a way to get me outgunned.
Yeah, I was thinking, no, because he's probably, I suspect he's with the guy that I'm with. So no, maybe. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
It's all right, Raph, because I'm just going to stick to facts.
Okay, as if John implying that I'm not going to stick to facts.
I'm not implying anything, Raphie. Facts are facts.
Okay. Facts. I don't know how John's spelling that, whether it's FACT or FAX. We're going to leave that to your...
That machine's outmoded now.
We're going to leave that to your imagination. But remember, we got Boxing Talk with Raphie on Friday as well. I don't think there's much more to say. It's been concise enough. We've gone into overtime. We tried to keep it to around 2 hours. We've gone an hour and 12 into overtime. I think that was the perfect timing to end the interview. It was the battery was going. It's perfectly smoothed out. It's a perfect arc. And next time around, your questions are going to be the ones that are asked. I'll throw in a question here and there to keep it cohesive, but it's going to be a question and answer session, Q&A with Rick Glaser next Wednesday, right here on Boxing Talk with Raphie. That's the schedule on Wednesday. John Dealey and I are going in on a couple of fights, historic fights, but ones that you will have may have already seen, may not, but you will want to see. So we'll be showing it on the screen. And then, so that's then Monday, we get back to Monday now, coming, and El Jefe reached out to me in a message saying Monday is on. It's got to be over here. We have a brand. We have Boxing Talk with Raphie. You might just come back over here, El Jefe. Come right back over here. So Friday, historic fight review. Monday, El Jefe returns, a return of the El Jefe. And Wednesday, back to Rick Glaser. And then on the following Friday, if we're still in the COVID era, we'll probably do another one, John.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I've got a lot of ideas on that. I can
Damn. John's full of ideas.
I love watching old tape, to be honest.
Well, we're going to do that on Friday, mate. We're going to do that on Friday. Yeah. So, what did you say? Did you say something?
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh yeah, cool. So, gonna rewind now and watch the Rick interview. I missed the start of the show. Catch you on Friday. Yeah, I'm Pablo Diablo. If you ever can't see a show, just go to the community page, go into my channel, click onto the community page, and after each live show, I'll have a post with a link in case YouTube takes 8 hours to process the video like they did the last one. But I put the link in so people. I looked at the analytics and I saw, because I went to bed late and I saw the people still tuning in, and I thought it was only possible because, well, actually, I posted a link in a few places. So they were able to find the links and boom, they were able to watch the show. So that's it. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. We've gone into serious overtime. And it's thank you to everybody who came into the chat. Thank you to John Dealey. Thank you to Red Glove Militant. And of course, most of all, it's thank you to Rick Glaser. It's okay, John. So see you on Friday.
Yeah. Get the rum and the sedatives ready, Raphie.
I've got the sedatives. It's going to be rum and mango juice, and I've got the sedatives. I will be as calm as can be expected. Okay, John. Take care.
All right, I'll speak to you later. See you later.
Okay. And then there was one. Okay. So what can I say? That hasn't been said. It's already been said. Breaking up, saying goodbye is so hard. It's so hard. We got to do it. So it's the Boxing Talk with Raphie. Follow me on Twitter. Like, subscribe, share the videos on all your social media platforms. And what else to say? It's the Pablo, it's the Freddie Mars, it's the Shiz Biz, it's the BH, it's the DJ Georgie Porgy, it's the Freddie Mars, it's the Pablo Diablo, the Cal L, it's the Fireman. Fireman was up in the building. The BH was up in the building. Cal L was up in the building. It's the Marla. It's the Phil Walker. It's the David Ashton. It's the Vi Zoe. It's the Equalizer. It's the Chase Athletics. It's the Smarty Jones. It is, of course, the John D. Lee, the Lisa Bayliss, the Will. What else we got? What else we got? And many, many more. Okay. Dr. Wooduck. Okay. Can't scroll all the way to the top. The Red Glove Militant. The Rasclot. And, of course, our very, very special guest. Much goes out to him. It's the Ped. Much goes out to him. It's the Dr. Wooduck. Well, much goes out to Rick Glaser. Great having him. It was, shoots from the hip, says, tells it like he sees it. And, all that's left for me to say is blessed. See you on Friday. And see you on Monday. And then see you next Wednesday for Rick Glaser Q&A. And I'm out.